Traction coming.
And a warning to any young male footballers watching this tonight.
Well, they've got a shirt front me and hip and shoulder their way past the front door first. You won't go out with any footballers, will you, Dick? No.
Or used car salesman.
Graham Corn's a proud dad. He's got a big job to do, and so has John Northey, who's just arrived today for the big match. Richmond, 3 in a row. They've been in great form. John, thanks for joining us just before the game. It is a big match for Richmond. Is there a big match feel in the rooms?
Well, there is, Bruce. You know, I mean, we've won 3 in a row, and I suppose really when you analyse it, we couldn't come over here at a better time after having that, and certainly the players having the great deal of confidence in one another. We're certainly looking for a great game from everybody today.
John, the midfield's going to be vital. Bickley back for Adelaide, but Jarman out. Your midfield has worked very well this year.
Well,
Free and Knights, who's come off half forward. Broderick's been terrific.
Yes, look, I think they've really, Bruce, set the whole pattern up for us, the centre line and certainly the on-ballers, and after that, of course, has been infectious all over the ground, and hopefully those boys do the same job today.
How are you setting that up today? Are you matching up? Are you tagging up? Or are you letting your blokes run free?
Well, we'll just see how we're going. We obviously have 1 or 2 taggers, I suppose, but apart from that, you know, I would certainly like to play our game, but at the same time we can't let the Crows just run all over the ground, run them freely, so we've certainly got to stay with them. But at the same deal, I believe we've got a great deal of pace out here, and certainly we can match it in that area.
Bond's been terrific for you, I think, this year, don't you? He hasn't had a lot of plaudits, but he's done a job each week.
Yes, and each week he seems to get better and better. He gets the hard jobs, of course. He probably had one of those hard jobs today, but he does that. And I mean, his enthusiasm is so infectious to the boys. He just loves the challenges. They certainly love him out there with them, and you know, his form to date has been excellent, and once again I just hope that he can continue on with that today.
John, speaking of hard jobs, I guess Turner's got the job on Modra. He's had a fair bit of form against Richmond, hasn't he, Modra?
Yes, he has in the past, but at the same time, Bruce, we haven't been playing the way we have, and that makes it a lot easier for a fullback. I think as we're talking about the centre line, you know, we've got a block off supply. We'd have Scotty Turner down there, who's done a great job for us over the last few weeks. He's got a hard job to do, but so has every other player on the ground, and I'm sure if they do the job we expect them to do, that cuts off supply and makes Scotty's job a lot easier.
What about at the other end for you? Richardson started in a blaze this year. He kicked 15 goals in the first 2 matches. You were forced to drop him eventually. He's now back in. Could he kick a bag today?
Well, he could. You know, he's very keen and very excited about this game, of course. You know, he came off the bench at half-time last week and did a very good job for us. He'll be starting today, of course, and with the enthusiasm he and the other kids create, you know, it just gives us a good opportunity for him and certainly for us, and certainly to kick a really good score today. So Matty's a big part of that, and we just believe that he will certainly perform here today in a front of a Crow crowd.
It will be a Crow crowd, John, there's no doubt about it, and plenty of them. Well, he's one of the 2 teenagers you're playing. The oldest bloke out there today is playing his 150th, Greg Deere. Now, he's got a big job because Sean Wren plays very well at Football Park. In fact, he plays very well anywhere.
Yes, he does, you know, no doubt. And Deary, of course, playing his 150, which is terrific, and terrific for he and for Richmond. But his form also, you know, we say, how are we going as well as we do? Well, certainly we've had first use of the ball generally by Greg Deare's very good work, and the other on-ballers around. So all we're saying there is, Bruce, that we all depend on one another, and we certainly depend on Greg Deare to nullify and certainly to win around the centre bounces, and probably these players playing one each end of the ground, you know, as long as he does the job for us, and I'm sure he will, and he'd certainly be extremely happy and certainly wants to play well in his 150 and one that he can remember.
John, again, good luck today. There are thousands of Tiger fans back in Melbourne that will be cheering you on.
My word, Bruce, and we fully realise that. You know, it's been terrific over the last 3 weeks. However, 3 weeks don't make a season, and we're certainly now with a chance of hopping up into the 8, the winner of today going into the 8, I believe that is, and we're just going to give it everything we've got.
John Northey down in the rooms. I'll be back with Ross Glendinning after this as we take a look at the lineups.
So Samantha Bob Ward, the Hungry Jacks, can we play for a day? Joined out there in the centre with a little tacker himself, Lachlan West. So a big occasion for Samantha and Lachlan here today, and Lachlan making every opportunity. And please welcome Richmond. The football partners on that direction off the ground. Spectacular pass there by the Richmond boys and girls. Certainly a lot of imagination put into that. Today's field umpires are Andrew Coates, Rowan Swords and Mark Prince. The emergency umpire is Richard Williams. The boundary umpires Darren Wilson, Matthew Starr and Randall Shepherd. And goal umpires Mike Nicolai and John Hudson.
Great view, isn't it? On a warmish day in Adelaide, day-night match here, with the Crows already out and now Richmond making their way out onto the arena. Welcome to Ross Glendinning. It looks to be a great game, Ross.
Well, it does, Bruce. Both sides obviously needing a win. It's one of these mid-season grand finals you often get in a round, and both teams should have done better leading up to this game. They should not have put themselves under this sort of pressure. Richmond having lost games early, Bruce, and then Adelaide losing their form, and that's why this game's such a crunch one.
Bickley back in for the Crows as we look at their lineup. He's most important. He hasn't played for a couple of months. Jarman's out and Kluzek's in for his first match.
Well, Anderson's been very good off half-back for most part of the year when he's gone there, and of course he's missed a little bit with an injury, but coming back I think he's been very good. Modra, obviously the pressure is on this player to lift. He's had a real dearth of goals in the last 4 weeks, and Bickley, as we've mentioned, well, he's a player that is their prime mover through midfield, but there's a big question about his ability to last a game like today for not having played, as you said, Bruce, for a couple of months.
And for Richmond, just the one change. Prescott out and Newd coming back in.
Yes, the extra long player comes through to fill that void. And they're a side who are very much in form. And those three players, 3, 4 and 5, Callaway's had some big scalps this year, has done very well in the back half. Rogers and Tate have been excellent since coming across from South Australia. They'll be looking forward, Bruce, to coming back here and playing today. Rogers particularly kicking goals this season, and Tate's been a very stout defender.
There's been a bit of stability about them, hasn't there? They've only used 30 players and a dozen of them have played in each of their matches. So that's the lineup. The Tigers against the Crows. Peter McKenna will join us with Neil Curley for the opening bounce after this. That's what I like about the thing about football.
Take the Crows Express bus service here to Football Park. A reminder that the Crows Express bus service is still proving to be very popular with footy fans. And there's some very important news for all people who use any form of public transport in Adelaide. As from tomorrow, Monday the 4th of July, SCA changes its name to Trans Adelaide. So no longer SCA, but Trans Adelaide as from tomorrow. So when you go to catch a bus, train or tram for tomorrow, you should be able to spot the new Trans Adelaide name with its distinctive blue and orange logo. This is the first step in providing a more efficient transport organisation to South Australia. However, it's important to note that at this stage, services will not change and that your bus, train or tram will still turn up at the same stop at the same time as usual. That's of course great news for footy fans who have been using the Crows Express services. So remember, next time the Crows play at home, you'll be able to catch the Trans Adelaide Crows Express to Footy Park.
Man in question today, Mark Bickley, was declared a chance last week, given one extra week. Neil Curley on the boundary line. He's a great player, Bickley. He's been sadly lost, hasn't he?
That's correct, Bruce. He's one of those players you'd love to have in your side every week, because he's a true champion, and he's a Harvey type of player, just keeps getting the hard ball and doing something with it. But gee, being privileged to the atmosphere down here within the rooms, I think I heard Ross say that it's a type of a semi-grand final. Well, my word, the intensity and the build-up in the rooms, both very vocal, but particularly from the Richmond point of view, and those Richmond viewers that are watching us here today, you can rest assured that John Northey has his team in a tremendous build-up for this game. The room is decorated out fantastic, and the Richmond boys are here to do business today. That is an unbelievable build-up. I couldn't believe it when I went in there. It was just so intense. But the Adelaide Crows, of course, they're a very good side out today. I think the best side for quite some time, and with the weather way we have it here, but it's not going to help the high flyers, in particular, say Richmond and Brenton Gale from Richmond. I think they'll be under a lot of footy, and also Smart and Modra. They'll be misjudging their flight a lot, and there's going to be a lot of footy on the ground.
Neil, you're going for the Crows?
I'm picking the Crows tonight. I think they do play a bit better at home. The Richmond side is playing football like the Crows were, say, at their better games, but I think the Crows just have a little bit too much around the ground for them.
Thanks for that, Curls. Peter McKenna, welcome to the telecast.
Good afternoon, Bruce. Good afternoon, Ross.
Looking forward to it, no doubt. It's great
really
being here, isn't it?
It is one of the best atmospheres in the AFL. The ground completely packed, and it's electric. As you walk up through the grandstand, people have a go at you when you're wearing a Collingwood tie. And
well, you'd be a deal to wear that, wouldn't you, Pete?
But they're good people. They love their footy. And I also agree with Neil. I think that Adelaide will win. I think Richmond will be very competitive, but Adelaide Ross have a terrific record against Richmond. I know Richmond are a better side now, but I think Adelaide side looks nearly at their best here.
Yes, they'll have to be at their mental best, Richmond, to overcome that. They've, as you said, Pete, five zip in favour of the Crows on the scoreboard since the Crows have been in against Richmond. So it's a big job to get over for the Tigers, but they're in their best form to come here, as John Northey said prior to this game.
Now, Brown on the interchange with Kluzek and Chalmers, and Newt I spotted for Richmond with Murphy, and I missed the other one.
We'll pick him up in a minute, Bruce.
Crows go to the left, Tigers to the right. Now Bond's got the job on McGuinness. John Northey suggested that might be the case. Wren has been in spectacular form. Deer in his 150th. Listen to the crowd. Tregenza's at it early with the Bauer. Anderson went in hard, swung a high handball. Greg Deer, quick kick away. 3 premierships to his name. Naish almost. Bickley, first touch for him in a long time. To Jamison, always neat. Goes to centre wing. Lip tap. Big roar from the crowd as the Crows get it past the half forward. And just running it over Kellaway. He's got the job on Hall by the look of it. And there is the Richmond interchange, with Neil closest. He kicked 4 against Collingwood about 3 weeks ago. Then Murphy and Daffy.
Well, the ball's on half-forward line for the Crows. There's Bickley. Listen to the roar of the crowd as it comes down to it full forward. All trying to sock it off the ground with Modra. Turner is there. Here's Wayne Campbell. Bring it around the boundary line, rolls close to the line, and Greg Deer happy to see that over on centre wing. Slightly towards half forward for Adelaide. An electric atmosphere. Players going in very, very hard in this first couple of minutes. Looking forward to the clash. The young gun, Wren, versus experienced Deer. Wren won that one. It's handballed. Further across to Free. That was from Broderick, the former Fitzroy player, to the half forward line. Fitzroy a chance. Oh, brought down the ground was Rogers. Still a chance as Naish trying to get down onto the right foot. He does that well. Centres the ball. That's good play. He's looking for Gale. Gale against Pittman. They race back after the bit of holding going on there. Pittman was grabbed. Socked away by Pittman. And listen to the roar of that crowd.
Yes, well done by Big Pittman. Benny Hart's got the job on Broderick in midfield, which he's done that a few times. Very versatile player is that fellow. Rashid on the job on Campbell.
Kellaway's got Smart Ross.
Yes. Howart's got Hall.
McDermott swings a handball wide. Knights and Anderson. And just forced forward by Anderson and out of play. He's been terrific this year, Anderson. Ex-McGarry medalist. He's got some mates who've won that in this Crows team. Maxfield's got the job on him. Played a lot across half-back this year. Edwards over the top, McGuinness. I think he's still the youngest ever to win the McGarry Medal, McGuinness, when he was at Glenelg. He's a 17-year-old. Might have turned 18 in that year, but he's done a lot, hasn't he? Footscray best and fairest, Crows best and fairest, AFL team. Been a wonderful player.
Oh, there's a big thump by Wren, and that's a 30-metre thump right around a true centre wing position. Breeze favouring the end, but Richmond is kicking too. I would imagine they'd have to go into quarter time with a 3 or 4 goal lead. There's Deere. Taken away by McGuinness. Handballs to himself. Tony Free, the captain. Caught high. A bit free kick now. The umpire calling play on as Free breaks away and brings it to the half-forward line. And good mark taken by Jamison. Off he goes. The Maynard. How often do those two combine? To the half-forward line. Good mark by the shooter. Now he's looking for Modra. On the lead. Out he comes Modra. Oh, good mark. It was a difficult mark. Listen to that crowd, Russ.
And that's the sort of lead that everyone's been looking for Modra. That's the area they've been critical of his play, that he hasn't run quickly to the space. Now, you can argue certainly that the ball hasn't been coming down in the fashion he would like, but you still must present yourself a little more directly, not go to the pocket, so he's done well there. Good kick for Rishudo too, Pete.
He'll kick from about 48 metres he'll kick from. He kicks out, waiting for the breeze, and he swings it back right through the middle. Good start to Modra. So Adelaide pour first blood to their champion full forward.
There's some knock done by Rod Jamison across half-back. He's been a terrific fill-in there. Well, not so much a fill-in, he's actually taken over at centre half-back. They had a void there. Maynard had played there initially in the first couple of years, but then Jamison's taken over from a forward area to a wing, now to centre half-back, and he was the fellow who started that, and Modra finishes off.
Modra with the first goal of the match. Adelaide go out of the centre again, as Peter McKenna said. Richmond kicking with the breeze. Here's Tate, rookie, who's played very well for the Tigers. Naish, big fly, brings it to ground. Knights tries to get around, caught holding the footy. Gone.
Yes, he got touched high first, but Bickley gets the free kick. Gee, that'll be a good duel if Bickley can last the game.
Some skill between those two running midfielders. Bickley back into the heart of the centre square. Terrific player, this fellow, the 19-year-old Rishudo. He's kicked the Modra a moment ago, was terrific. Puts that to the space. Good mark by Tate. He's got a bit of Andrew McKay about him, I reckon, Tate, the way he runs and doesn't fall over. Not a good kick, that one. Tregenza's got it. Half forward now, Hall on his own. He should kick it to him. He does. Awful looking kick, Tregenza.
Well, that's the weakness in his game, isn't it, Ross?
Well, it's just watching the Sydney Collingwood game beforehand, the comment was made about Jason Daniels. He gets the ball often enough, but just lets himself down with his kicking. That's an example by Tregenza of a similar thing.
It's quite balmy here, 16 degrees. It's been very cold winter so far in Adelaide and also Melbourne. McDermott's quick kick. Chance for Liptak. He really should kick this. He does. It's an ominous start. It's just what the Tigers did not want with the breeze behind them.
Yes, and 5 and 6 of Chris McDermott's teammates come to him and say, well done, skipper. And then Liptak, watch this for perfect roving. Okay, a little bit of a favourable bounce there, but McDermott, ball to boot. Attacked there by Howard. In front, couldn't do much more, but well read by Liptak.
Well, a lot of people criticise the kicking of Chris McDermott, but he gets his boot to it quickly.
And if you're getting it forward, it's advantageous anyway, Pete.
So a great start to Adelaide. Things a little bit ominous. Now, there's Knights getting it forward. And Ben Hart, he's shuffled off the ball. The umpire's found a free kick to Hart at half-back. Hart, a low trajectory kick. That's a good kick into the breeze. Rishudo almost took it. Then shuffles it out. A quick kick. Comes down towards the half-forward line. Racing back with the flight is Chris Bond to take a safe mark. Former Carlton player. Had a fine season too. Only 45 AFL games, but a real little goer. He's got the job on McGuinness. To the half-forward line is thumped further afield, and the umpires found a free kick to Edwards in that marking contest. Stuart Edwards. He's had knee problems. You can see that left knee heavily strapped as he brings it in towards full forward. Gale, that was Richardson actually underneath it. Here's Gale. Bring it back towards Richardson. Lee gets his boot to it. Here's Brendan Gale taking it towards the line, and finally it rolls over.
Left forward pocket for the Tigers. McGuinness and Bond will go together. John Northey lavish in his praise for Bond before the match. Wren and Deere, free kick to Deere.
Oh,
Crow fans won't like that, neither will Sean Wren.
Well, that's the most experienced umpire there, Rowan Sawyers on screen, who adjudicated there.
It looked like 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other, didn't it?
Well, that's the part of our rules, but isn't it? It's all open to interpretation. Yours will be different to mine, as it often is.
From the pocket, Greg Deere in his 150th. He's kicked just 1 goal this year. Doesn't come in too close to the man on his mark. Squeezes it there, and Pittman takes the mark.
A free kick. Holding on, going to Matthew Richardson.
Against Wellman by the look of it. So the Tigers will kick their first goal from this free kick.
So 2 contentious free kicks there given by the same umpire, Rowan Sawyers.
Richardson from the goal square to kick his first. He's got it. The 19-year-old gets the first for the Tigers, and they needed it badly, and they're within 6 points.
And the problem there is if you're going to try and retard a player, then you are then open to penalty. Watch this here. Richardson pulled down behind the line by Wellman. That's where the free kick came.
Well, no doubt about that free kick. The Tigers need a few more in this term. Here's Maxfield rushing his way through the pack. The long kick, that's the way to play it. They've got a lot of high markers up there, Richmond. Ben Hart went it well. Sprints away, brings it to Anderson. Anderson at half-back, kicks it wide, and he's found Mark quickly. It doesn't take him long to get into the action. Finds McDermott. Out wide is Pittman. Look at him, way up on centre wing. Brings it to half-forward, the mark taken by Rashudo. Where's Modra? He's ducking back. Oh, Modra and Turner. Modra. They both miss it. Oh, it's a goal! Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Rashudo has kicked the goal from way out at half-forward into the breeze.
And what a start he's had. He's had some very important possessions here. And Modra made a lead to his left, but you saw the open goal square there to Rashudo. Modra got back in time, but he and both Turner missed that. Well played by Rashudo, and again, good quick running there by Pittman too to get away from centre half back to create an opportunity going past McDermott.
Adelaide by 2 goals. Rashudo prominent early. McDermott gets it from Wren. Robbed by Free, couldn't go forward. Maynard, McDermott round his body again. Tate goes hard, hip and shoulder, good, but hit by Bickley. Hart's handball to Liptak. Liptak's awkward looking kick out on the full.
That's the back kicks to Tony Hall, one from Tregenza earlier on. Excuse me.
Can make a difference to a forward too. Hall would be wanting an early kick, and he's been in position twice, and the ball's gone out of bounds. And John Howard, oh, hang your head in shame. Big hook on that. Maynard, centre wing.
No one on the mark.
Back in the Hall direction. Smart went with one hand. Howard, McGuinness tried to toe poke there. Bond caught. Scooped away by Howard. Tape's handball, not accurate, but I guess defensively sound to the boundary, and Free running it over. 5 out of 5 Adelaide, and 3 of them have been crushing. Last year they just walked in at the MCG when Modra kicked 10, and he kicked 13 in the return bout here. This should be much more competitive. Bauer, robbed by McDermott. Free kick Crows. No, going to Richmond, sorry. Umpire Saws originally went Crows' way with his arm and then back towards Richmond. Bond's got the free kick at centre wing.
So Chris Bond will be looking for those high marking forwards. Now here's one of them, Richardson in front. Over the back is Maynard. He should come back towards the boundary line, which he does. Maynard was there, but he overran it. Oh, that could be a free kick to Adelaide. You listen to the roar here. Free kick to Wellman. He's got a big job, Wellman, on Richardson as he brings it to the half-back line. Wren in front against Deere. And that was a bit soft, and maybe a little bit above the...
That's the even upper, eh?
I think so. There's Wren. Wobbly old kick, but he's found Scott Lee, and this side looks better with Lee and Liptak back in this side. To the half-forward line. Is that a mark to Rashudo? Umpire said no. Here's Rashudo again. He is burning as he gets it towards Liptak. Liptak to McGuinness, who sprints up with the left foot. Fires it in at goal, but the ball had the wrong curve on it and went to the left instead of the right. One behind to Adelaide.
Gee, easy for me. That could have gone back to Rashudo, wasn't he? Cutting a path through there. That quick one, it went left instead of coming back right. That's the option the player sees. Easy from here.
Front spot, Wren thumps it away back inside 50. McGuinness and Bond. Little free kick there to McGuinness. Hanging on. Bond was saying it was a bit of both.
Yes.
It's a thumping kick. You'd have a great on the run, you'd say, for sure from here, wouldn't you? Loves nothing better than to charge in from about 50 metres and pop these through. And Chris Bond upset with the umpire there, an exchange. And McGuinness will kick from just inside 50.
Oh.
It's a good kick, look at that one. Sails through. Roscoe, you'd have to worry a bit about this breeze when you just popped the couple from about 55.
Yeah, well, it's almost negligible really, Bruce, from here, but then on the ground in the previous game it was favouring right of screen, and as Pete said, if Richmond don't get a bit of a hurry on and have a couple of goals break going into quarter time, it makes it pretty tough. Having said that, Adelaide is showing it's not tough to kick goals against the breeze, and usually as nightfall comes, the breeze drops off a smidge.
19 points, Adelaide in front by, as Matthew Knights gets in a quick hand pass to Free. With the half-forward line, some holding going on.
Yeah, Richmond's free kick.
And it is going away the Tigers to Naish. A difficult game to umpire so far. There's a lot of scragging. Naish from directly in front will kick from, well, they'll actually kick from right on 50, I would think, here. And they need it, the Tigers. Now let's see, Scott Lee, yes, holding on. Definite free kick, well umpired there. I think it was Rowan Swords. So Chris Naish directly in front, normally accurate. It's wobbling, it's close, but it is missed to the right. So I think they need everyone they can get it. Adelaide looking very good early in the piece. They lead by 3 goals.
4-1 to 1-1. Wellman to bring her back in. One of 3 teenagers playing for the Crows tonight. Out wide, Jamison. Lee running on for him. Leading goal kicker at the club in his first year, Jamison. It's really made that half-back spot his since then. Wellman caught. McDermott prominent early. Lee ripped off it. Edwards went off the ground and gains about 25 to 30 metres out of play at left half forward. Stragenza played in at least a couple of premierships at Port Adelaide when he was very young. Big run they had in the late 80s, early 90s. McGuinness well played to Anderson, to McDermott. He's had a lot of touches early to Bickley. Every time he touches the footy tonight, he'll get a cheer. McDermott gets it back, wobbles it to Wiedemann. Mark Payne. Hall is loose. Wiedemann goes short. Anderson. He's got a panic here. Well, he back to it. Should have run on. Then goes high and long to the goal square. Hall at the back. Good grab by Hall. Second grab was terrific.
Yes, he almost looked out of it, Bruce, didn't he? It was as if he was too far back, and with that ball going to the breeze, I thought it may have dropped a little too short for him. I think Greg Anderson must have been watching a few old clips of Gary Cowton just blind turning on his own out there, but he had run all the way from half back, so it was a great run by Anderson to create that opportunity.
Hall from the pocket. Just 11 goals in his 7 matches so far for the Crows. Bought by the club to kick, you'd reckon 3 or 4 out of the pocket each week. And that's a miss, bad miss, never really gave it a chance. So point to Hall. Missed 3 or 4 games along with Smart from rounds 8 to 11. Crows 4-2 to 1-1.
It's a good sign too, Bruce, if he takes the mark like that, considering he's been out with a thumb problem.
Scott Turner, he's had a good season. Oh, disciplined play, the big thumb. Here's Chris McDermott onto the left foot. But going back to take the mark is Gale. And Michael Gale, another of the former Fitzroy players. Greg Deere. Right in the true centre-half back position. Deere almost smothered there by Smart. And back with a flight. That's a wonderful mark to Hart. Ben Hart, he certainly has got some talent. So Hart, the low trajectory kick again. That's a good kick to Hart for it. No mark to Smart. Knocked away in the direction of McGuinness. Knights appealing for the free kick. There's Bond. It comes back from Broderick to Knights. On to Campbell. Campbell to the half-forward line. The lead is on. Oh, Gale, I thought he should have attacked that and tried to take the mark. I really thought he could have got to that one, Ross.
Yes, and Gale, his brother's been taken away from his opponents. Now picking up Rashudo, who had far better of Campbell. Campbell now picking up Wiedemann.
7-4 Richmond on the sportsbook, 11-4 on the Crows. Hot favourites. Gale to free. Now Bauer inside 50, has to concede. Back to Naish, twists and turns. Neat little left footer, finds his target, Rogers, who's normally a good kick. Isn't it amazing, sportsbook? 11-4 on Adelaide, 7-4 Richmond. If it was at the MCG with their current form, the odds would be reversed. Adelaide would be about 6-4. Home ground advantage enormous in this game. We saw it again yesterday with the Bears at Princes Park. Now Rogers, important kick. Neat looking kick. Looks like he's got us a goal. And they've got to get all of those, Roscoe. They can't miss any of them, can they? 2-1 to 4-2.
Yes, when you're finding it so tough to go forward and be creative, if you get free kicks or opportunities like that, you must convert, quite right. And Rogers has been a great converter all year. It's his 20th goal for the season, so he's been very productive up forward.
Knows this ground pretty well too, having come from South Australia.
Daffy on.
Adelaide by 13 points. There's Wren flying high. Tape thrown off the ball. Punch by Deere, or attempted punch. Oh, Bond went in hard after it. For that could be a free kick. No, umpire calling play on. Here's Anderson crashing his way through the pack to the half-forward line. No mark. Pressure put on by Michael Gale. Here's Rashudo, the star of the first term. He sprints away, kicks her in low, but the umpire's found a free kick. Now it's 50 metres as well. Umpire blowing the whistle. So it will be a Richmond kick coming way down to the half-forward line. Now it looks like Michael Gale to take it. Certainly not within kicking distance. Now we'll probably look for his brother here, who's one out if he kicks it now. His brother Brendan yelling for it. There he is. He's against Pittman. Over the back, it's thumped away. Here's a chance for Naish around the corner. It's good looking snap, just misses to the right.
2-2, 4-2.
Tough kick to mark that 2 peak with that sun. The players at the right of screen looking up the ground to that high ball will be looking into the sun.
Edwards off for the Tigers.
Daffy on.
Here's Wellman. Looking for Wren, gives him a good chance. 3 Richmond players against him. Jamison able to break the tackle with the handball. Bond's done pretty well. McGuinness had a couple of touches and a lovely goal early. Knights and McGuinness running out of play. Almost centre wing. Tigers steadying after the Crows jumped them early. Deere and Wren. Wren again wins the tap. Knights caught, taken off the footy. Now Maxfield. Brings it back with his left foot right to the 50. Good mark in the front spot by Naish. It's one of the highlights of his game for his inches. He's an excellent mark. Goes out wide to Free in the pockets. Got him. So the captain tucked away in the pocket.
She could run out here.
Goes to full forward to Richardson all on his own.
That's very poor to pick that up, Bruce, because Wellman had to stand the mark and no one came back to pick up Richardson, who was actually slow to make that opportunity. He had all that square area to himself. Just assumed that his teammate was going to have a shot at goal.
This will be a good start for Richardson. He kicked 15 goals in the first 2 matches of the year. Then got into a horror spell, and that one is a goal. His second. And the Tigers are doing well here at 3-2 to 4-2. Withstood the early onslaught and have steadied up.
Yes, that's purple patch was right, Bruce. 20 in the first 4 games, and then only 5 from the next 4. Then spent time in the reserves, and he should never have been there on his own. Poor marking by the Crows backman there. Not enough communication to tell a teammate to drop back quickly.
So Adelaide by 6 points only now. Richmond have really steadied. They're playing much better football now. Knights. Oh, it's shuffled out towards centre wing. Broderick was there. Wiedemann gets in a hand pass. Prosciutto was there. Now it's Maxfield running onto it. Can't get his boot to try the hand pass instead of kicking. Here's Wayne Campbell. Oh, he's surrounded by Crows. Kept in by Jamison. Here's Maynard, who handballs straight into his teammate Wiedemann. Brought back by Maxfield. Here's danger for Adelaide. Oh, no mark. Taken by Wellman. Pittman gives it back to Lee. And the umpire's paid a free kick in the meantime. And it will go to Wellman deep in defence. He's chipping it in short. And he finds Greg Anderson at half-back.
Normally a very long kick. Out wide, centre wing, front spot tape, goes to ground, McGuinness, handball clever, running onto it, Maynard should have reflexed it to Liptak, took a bit long, Liptak swings it out wide, Smart, good pick up on the run, outside 50, centering kick, Mogga got caught underneath, Hall takes a beauty, went early, hung in the air and hurled onto it. Smart's pick up was terrific, wasn't it?
Something, Bruce, I don't think people realise how difficult it is to run, pick up that ball on the ground at your feet, running at that sort of pace when you're a big fellow. I know he's an agile, one of the most athletic players in the Crows team, if not the competition. And there was no certainty that Hall would take this mark because they're not easy, but he judged that very well.
Well, he missed badly before from an angle. That one straight in front. Misses again. 2 for 2.
Well, he's not a prolific goal kicker, Tony Hall, is he? Like, he's a 3-goal man.
Kicked 23 last year, Pete. 11 so far this year.
Yeah, well, it's not
but
a lot of
11-9, now it's 11-11.
Turner to bring it back in, 4-3 to 3-2.
Scott Turner is an improved player. Oh, that's a good kick too. He finds big Brendan Gale way out at half-back. A mobile player, Gale, for his size. So Gale, that was a let-off for the Tigers. Centre wing, clears the pack, Rodney Maynard. Lee, no it's not, it's Jamison. Jamison caught, loses it in the tackle. Bickley ducks the head, now he's caught, and the umpire said it was too high. On Mark Bickley, gives it off to Jamison. Jamison a booming kick to the half-forward line. Hall couldn't mark. That's Wayne Campbell with a quick kick to the centre of the ground. Gale underneath it. Oh, good mark, Brendan Gale. They're difficult to wait underneath it like that. Good mark, the big fella. They've got to move it quickly. Richardson on the lead. Out wide is Naish. Thumped away from him. Here's a chance for the Tigers. Around the corner, in towards Rogers, a good mark. That was good play. Daffy, who got it there quickly. And Rogers has been a revelation this year.
He has. That's a gutsy mark too, Pete. Just set himself on the footy. And Daffy, who's only just come on to replace Edwards, as you said, the player responsible for getting it down there to him.
So Matthew Rogers has kicked one. He's been a real find. Normally a fairly accurate kick. Set shot. The Tigers need it. And that is a goal. 2 goals to this talented half forward, and the Tigers really putting on a show here. They trail by 1 point.
And no coincidence too that the big fella Gale just featured in that play. He was the player that got it down to the half-forward line, having taken a very strong mark just backward of centre wing. They need him to do more of that. He's their focal point in attack and must present himself like that more often.
Just a point the difference after the Crows led by 4 goals to 1 in the early stages of this opening quarter. Packed house, hard to see an empty seat. Deer unopposed, thumps at about 20 metres. Free kick going to Maynard, held on to by Rogers. So Richardson and Rogers, the goal scorers for the Tigers, have got a couple apiece. Wren the target, Prosciutto works to the front ring, good mark. It's about 90 metres away from goal. Calling on Modra now. Oh. Poor kick. Tape goes to ground. Now Kellaway squeezes one out to half-back. Michael Gale in the box seat. Anderson behind him. Gale making a bit of a meal of it, then gets hold of Anderson out of play. Maxfield, sorry, not Gale.
And Sean Wren just kicking himself there. He's a much better player than he showed there with a poor kick looking for Modra.
Smart. Bond just hassled him out of it. Smart gets it back. Tape had a bit of a fumble. Campbell had it taken away by McGuinness, then gives a free kick away. McGuinness just worrying Campbell out of it. And he kicked a goal from about 3 or 4 metres closer than this.
Yes, in his back. Didn't have the footy. Which one would you like?
Give him a chance, Roscoe.
Well, his last kick was a beauty.
I think it'll be more difficult that side of the ground, Roscoe.
Well, there's a left foot, Pete, but he is kicking to the sun. Does that stop the ball going any further?
No, I think the more difficult angle with the breeze blowing, Roscoe.
52 metres out, McGuinness. Doesn't quite make it. Good mark in the front round. Falling ball. The sun holding the footy up. And Wren getting into the front spot and taking the mark.
Gee, some of those rays are strong, aren't they? No, he's going to make amends for that previous poor kick, which he was chastising himself, I'm sure, still as that ball came toward him.
Rashudo just flying indiscriminately and bringing Deer down. But anyway, Wren from the goal square kicks the goal. Wren gets his first. The Crows get a late goal. 5-3 to 4-2.
Yes, we see this again. Modra out of the contest there, just kept away from it. Rashudo the flyer from nowhere, but then Wren just judged that beautifully.
Should have been a free kick to Deer.
Rashudo all over him.
Nowhere near it.
Oh, grabbed him round the neck. So Greg Deer versus Wren, 7 points the Crows lead by. A minute of play left in this first term. Here's Chris McDermott. Well, you often see Chris McDermott in the packs. Been a wonderful player in South Australia, McDermott. State of origin player. There's Michael Taylor, greatest South Australian player, and more importantly, a great Collingwood player. Tapped down by Deer. Socket off the ground towards the Richmond half-forward line. Here's Daffy. He's been in good form, hooking it back towards Richardson, who's caught behind, and forces it to the line with Wellman. Well, they've got half a minute here in which to maybe score a goal just before quarter time. Be a really handy one if they could psychologically. Gale versus Pittman, two guys of equal height. That was well done by Gale. Free tried to get his boot to it. Now that's Daffy at the bottom of that pack. Nick Daffy. And again, Chris McDermott there.
So see the time clock there, 5-3, 4-2, 20 metres away from Richmond's goal. Free, and it is a free. So the Crows going to Pittman against Gale around the shoulder. So Crows should be able to hold it up now in this opening term. Been a promising start to what should be a very good game. Jamison's wide ball, and that's the quarter-time siren with Adelaide leading by 7 points. The Crows are 5-3, the Tigers are 4-2.
That's what I like about life. The thing about football.
Murray Bridge Hospital, contact Master Office, please.
7-point margin at quarter time for the Crows. They're 5-3. They've got 5 individual goal scorers, whereas Richmond, it's 2 to Rogers and 2 to Richardson. Quarter time 5-3, 4-2. Neil Curley down on the boundary. Neil, how have you seen the all-important centre matchups? Talking about the Brodricks, Knights, Frees, the McDermotts, Bickleys, and I guess
Who
also
else?
Hart.
The Chinese fella.
Yeah, Hart. I was just thinking Hart running with Brodrick.
Well, I thought Bickley's first quarter for a player that's been out of action for 8 weeks was very, very good. He was aggressive at the ball. He was aggressive at the player with the ball in a professional manner. I don't know about Richard playing Brodrick out the centre. He's been playing very well in the middle in recent weeks in their wins. And he's starting on a half-forward flank. Richmond have chosen to do this, of course, with their matchups, with Bond coming in, picking up McGuinness. Bond is a very quick player, and I think McGuinness is going to find it very difficult to break free of him. I'm looking forward to the Deer-Wren contest for the rest of the game. Deer hasn't quite got the class of Wren, but he's a very experienced player, and he's trying to suck Wren short when Wren prefers to play his back play. Rashudio started very strongly at half forward for Richmond, but I see they've made a change there already with Gale coming on to Rashudio to try and stop him. But a very good opening by the Crows into, I'd say, a 3 to 4 goal breeze.
So how do you explain McGuinness's long goal and Rashudio's long goal?
Yeah, but you've got to get the ball up there. Now, with the ball between half back and half forward, that's where the Breezer Football Park takes over. So once you get inside the half forward area going against the Breeze to the left of screen, you're okay. You can kick your long goal, but you must get the ball up there.
Local knowledge. Thanks for that, Curls. Roscoe?
It's where this game's going to be won and lost. We said that before the game, Bruce. Not only Curls, Johnny Northey, just acknowledge that the centre is where, most teams you win or lose the game. If you don't get it forward, how do you kick goals?
Start of the second term. Packed house at Footy Park on this doubleheader Sunday. 5-3, 4-2. Collingwood winning the early match 13-15 to 10-13. Brodrick just 2 touches in the opening quarter. Hart running with him. Jamison paddles it forward. Tregenza got a good break on his own. Ball set up nicely. Kellaway. Modra, snap, misses behind. Not a bad attempt. Kellaway just stretching out there, not fully committed and missing the mark. 5-4, 4-2.
They're difficult, those marks, going back in no man's land.
Oh, well, Kellaway's done a fair job on Nigel Smart, though. Just 1-on-1 for the Crows centre half forward.
Turner with a job on Modra. He's had a terrific year, Turner. Say that it's been his best in AFL footy, without doubt. Good low kick. Wren, Deer, they were the targets. Knights took a while, got it to Free, wobbled it, not a good kick. Held up by Jamison, only as far as Tony Free. The captain puts Richmond over the centre wing. Naisha's hip and shoulder was good. Runs back onto it. Handball very good to Rogers. Throw was it? Was exceptional handball.
It was a long call from the umpire then. Rowan Sawyers wants some more. Just asserting his authority. Well, I thought there was a bit of a fist there, but still he's closer than we are.
Wren underneath it, missed it. Back a little one by Bauer. Tonight's clutched.
That should be a free kick. Oh, not paid unless he paid the advantage. We see Bond in towards the pocket. Richardson and Wellman. Punched away by Wellman. And boy, you only have to do little things here at Football Park if you're an Adelaide Crow and the crowd roars. As Wellman thumped it across the line.
They roared when you came up the stairs about half an hour ago, Macca.
I love this Collingwood tie they did, Bruce. There's Lee. Quick kick on the left foot. Richmond need Knights to take over around midfield. And interesting, Ross, Knights and Brodrick fairly quiet in that first term.
Yes, well, see, Knights has got the problem of worrying where Bickley is because he's been instrumental in a few Crows thrusts forward too, Pete.
Halfway between centre wing and half forward for Richmond. That was Deer coming across the back of Wren. That's a good contest. There's Wren. As players pile in on top of it, it'll be a bounce.
Graham Corns and Michael Taylor up there. John Halbert, no doubt, not far away. Big game for Graham Corns today. Crows don't win this, you wouldn't think they could make the 8, looking at their tough run home. Bowers handball away. Now Tony Free, little left footer, back almost to the 50. Naish Lee, good hip and shoulder Lee. Ben Hart runs away. Good kick actually, and Anderson made it for him. Stretched himself right out, then chips it over the top. Jamison runs onto it, can go to the weed. They'll roar here, they do. shrugs off Knights and then goes bang to full forward. Not a good kick.
And Bruce, that's where he makes his mistake, because Moderate already made his lead before he tried to get around the player, and because he wanted his left foot, the opportunity's gone.
Campbell, who's playing off the back line to Knights at half-back.
Seems to be limping, Knights, doesn't he? He's had calf problems.
Certainly not going at full pace as he's loping so far today. Twice the best and fairest of the club. Measures the kick. Jamison flew high. Gale might have hurt his shoulder there. And Jamison from the centre wing.
Rodney Jamison, one of the best kicks in the competition to the half-forward line. Smart in front. He often is. Players pounce on it. Callaway was there. Richmond player goes to ground. And Rowan Soares says it's my ball and he will bounce it 50 metres out. I think the improvement in Richmond too is their defence has tightened up. Callaway's become a good player.
Great mark, Jamison.
I mentioned the defence, tape too has been an big improvement. Here's a free kick, too high, Rashudo. And he's a good kick of a football, and he'll kick from about 49 metres, I would think.
Interesting, Pete, you mentioned about the Richmond defence. Johnny Northey said this year, he said last year when the opposition went into attack, the only person who'd bring the ball out was the boundary umpire.
But it really has tightened up. As I said, with Callaway, tape, Turner's improved. They've got Wayne Campbell doing a lot of work down there now too. Mark Rashudo has already kicked one. Oh, that's an ordinary one. He's missed it easily that time. One behind. So an interesting stage this game
at 5-5-4-2, just waiting for one team to get a bit of a run on, aren't we here? Will it be the Tigers trailing by 9 points, or will the Crows put a space in them? Turner again gets pretty good distance. Deer the target. Wren going with him. It's outside 50. That's where Richmond wanted it. Rashudo went to ground, gets another free kick.
And Richmond only had one crummer there, Bruce, and Crows had three, and that's the difference in a big contest like that between the big fellas. You've got to have small blokes on the ground to pick up the crumbs.
Modra went early. Rashudo banged it in long. Michael Gale's mark. Oh, gee, not looking, Turner. Now gets it, has plenty of time, runs off the back pocket. Very poor kick. Rashudo, normally a long kick. Gives that a hook. Howard can't quite hold it, and it goes through off hands for a behind. So flat spot in the match, to be frank. 5-6-4-2, nothing much happening. It's like two heavyweights sparring, really, wanting to deliver some sort of a blow. 36-26.
Turner's normally a very reliable kick. He kicked a poor one a moment ago. That's a better one. Up towards centre back. Smart. No mark. He's got a big leap. Maxfield went without it. Here's Knights. He's the one they want to take over. Gale smothered that hand pass. Here's Jamie Tate. Tough little player. But half-back up by City through. So it's Wiedemann's kick. Crowded forward line, but now the leader's on. It should clear McDermott here. Over the back is Turner. Well played, Scott Turner. Some good shepherding too. Allowed him to come through. Look at Turner going. He can keep going. He can draw the man here and bring it up to the half-forward line. That's excellent play from the full-back. Gale, now what's he held? Umpire calls play on. Here's a chance for Daffy on the left boot. Oh, it's rolling! Oh, just bounced the wrong way. One behind of the Tigers.
Doesn't take much, Pete, to break the game open, does it? You come from a congested half-back line of yours to get the ball through centre. All of a sudden your forward line's open, you've got a chance.
Wellman to bring the kick back in. Straight down the centre. Pittman and Wren, he's got dual targets. Knights, tackled by Wren. Still Knights. Wren gets a little handball out. Knights missed a Bickley. On the up, Tregenza. Stops, props, handballs, then pushes it forward. McGuinness fell over. Knights high tackle, the first one. Not paid. Bond goes to ground. Good handball to Michael Gale. Sweeps it to Broderick. He's got a bit of room now. First kick for the match for Broderick. Not a good one. Marked by Jamison at half-back.
Playing well, Jamison.
He's got such skills, hasn't he, Jamison?
Well, when he gets the ball, Bruce, it goes to the half-forward line.
Now Wellman from that handball. Tate sits and waits for a moment. Goes towards the boundary line. He'll find it too. It's a defending kick, isn't it? And out of play.
That was a very good kick, actually. Sometimes when you break away like that and blaze away, you can put it out in the full, but that was intelligent. He's had a fine season, Jamie Tate. I'll tell you what, there's no tougher player playing the game.
It's Campbell over the top of it.
Sorry, Bruce.
Now Gale. Free. Doesn't go very far. Bauer. Richmond doing all right at the moment. Bowers kick, centre wing towards the boundary. Pittman goes in short. Knight's got underneath it with his Adelaide Crow opponent. Rashudo, Gale going with him. Tape held up there by Smart and Rashudo. Through the legs, now Wiedemann held up. And some good defensive action from both teams there. Kellaway getting mixed up with Wiedemann, and a bounce down 60 metres from the Crows' goal.
Well, Richmond hanging on pretty well at the moment. Breeze favouring right of screen. Oh, look at the big leap. The quick kick comes down towards the half-forward line. They race at it. Turner. But backup support from Campbell here. Campbell wide to the open spaces. That's a good kick. A very, very good kick. Daffy doing well since coming on the ground. That's a lovely kick to the half-forward line too. They need a mark. They've got it. Nash. There is no doubt he marked that. Good mark from the little fella. Now, he should kick it to Richardson now because he's one out in the square. He's leading to the pocket. Oh, that is a shocking kick. He should have bombed it long. He went for a short one.
Agree with you,
kicked it straight to Wren. That was terrible play. Hart. The centre wing. Richardson have made an excellent lead there. Here's Jamison. Hand pass is an ordinary one. Daffy, as I said, doing well, but he can't retrieve that one. It rolls over the line, half forward for Adelaide.
Yeah, that was a very good kick by Hart then, because he had Jamison running to the flank and he said, no, go, turn around and run back towards the wing, which he did, and the kick found him.
Smart in the front spot. Kellaway against him. Wiedemann ducks his head. Looks for a free kick. It'll be a bounce. Crows 9 points in front. 5-6, 4-3. Still not a goal in this second term. Been playing about 10 minutes. You can see the minutes remaining. Kellaway goes early, does all right. McGuinness, Maxfield paddles it to the boundary line. Is that out on the forward? It is. Oh, unfortunate. McGuinness, wide arc. Modra will be his target. Hall in the front spot. Modra got a little push, gets a free kick.
Yes, he had to stop. That ball had a bit more carry than he thought, Bruce, and then in stopping, Turner just came straight into his back, and to protect himself, he put his hands out, which naturally gave Modra the nudge. There it goes.
Yeah, it was there. Rowan Saws must have broken the world record for free kicks.
Oh, well, good luck to him. He's paid them in front of goal in the tough area.
It's kicked 1-1, Modra. Should goal from here. 40 metres out, straight in front. Gives it a hook. Misses.
That wasn't a very long run in. Ross, there 2 or 3 steps in from Modra.
Now, Roscoe, you got a few stats on Modra. What did he kick? 9-15 after kicking?
Yeah, last 4 games, 9-15. He's kicked in total after the first 8 games. He kicked 44-15. So there's a fair difference, isn't there?
So make that 10-17 right now.
Yes, and he kicked 2-7 against Melbourne. So there needs to be a bit of a change there.
Well, if he sees a replay of that, he'll know what he did wrong. You should watch that young Scott Cummings from Essendon. He gets way back on the mark. Terrific run in. Oh, Greg Deary often does that, kicking to the man. He runs too close at times, big Greg. Now he's looking for Bauer, and if Bauer keep it in. Yes, still in players. It's socket off the ground up towards the half-forward line. Jamison having a great game. Brings it to the centre of the ground, and he's found his captain in Chris McDermott. He'll have to come back. Now McDermott looking for an option. Bring it in towards the half-forward line. Modra's got a couple to beat. Modra waits at the back. It's a loose ball. Here's Howard crashing his way through the pack. Good play by Johnny Howard. And kicks it long towards centre wing, and Brendan Gale takes an excellent mark. Off he goes. Here's their chance, the Tigers. Broderick, a daisy cutter to the half-forward line. Daffy, as I said, doing well. Another good kick to the half-forward line. Oh, the mark dropped by Free. Was he held? Umpire said no. Play on. That's Liptak trying to crash his way through the pack, and a bounce at half-forward, Richmond's end of the ground.
Liptak's gone to half-back. Scotty Lee's come off the ground, and David Brown is on.
The longer this goes on without a goal,
there's Scotty Lee.
Yep, Lee off. The more important the next one becomes, doesn't it? 5-7, 4-3. McDermott with a bit of strength gives Tregenza a chance. Bauer onto him. Free kick Tregenza. It's got to come back. It's been a stop-start game so far. Not much flow from either side. Probably suiting Richmond at the moment. Tate takes a good mark from the side.
He's a great player, this kid.
It's always a good sign when you come in your first year and you play in the opening game and then you just hold your place like he and Rogers have done. They played all dozen games going into this one. High one on Broderick, free kick. Daffy's handball. Gets the handball from Bond. Goes for goal, not a bad kick by Daffy. This is a chance. Naish is there.
Free kick.
Yes, free kick to Naish in the goal square.
Yeah, Liptak, who's picking him dragged him down. Tough call. Watch it again. Nash backing back. Just the arm coming down. Well, they both fell, but the arm was in front of Nash, so the umpire saying that he was pulled down.
And kicks the goal. Nash is first. He's kicked 1-2, and the Tigers get the all-important goal in the second term.
It was a good kick there to get the ball forward, not go to the lead of Richardson, who was too short into a pocket. And if you're in front, you're always going to get the opportunity to get a free kick.
Well, that was a vital goal in the context of this game. They badly needed a goal at that stage, Richmond. Adelaide by 4 points. That was a vital goal, that one. Just when something needed to happen, there's Bickley getting it to the half-forward line. Racing at it was Howard. Oh, tunnel balls. Modra, he's pretty good at the soccer goals. Oh, he's lost it. He loses the ball. Here's Modra again, and Wiedemann. Wiedemann went without it. Then the Richmond defenders pouncing on top of it. Oh, this is anyone's game. 4 points the difference, and we've got just under 9 minutes left in this term.
Looks as if Modra might have come up the ground a bit. Rashudo into a more traditional full forward area.
At 30 metres from the Crows' goal, Kellaway and Smart. Turner looking towards the boundary line. Bickley, good tackle on him by Tape, out of play. Right forward pocket. Tight and tense. Oh, Peter McKenna loves that Tape.
Yep. A rip.
I bet you give him a mention again today when he gets his hand on the footy, Macca. Turner goes with a double fister. Now Bickley spins and weaves. McGuinness, high one round his body to fall forward. Rashudo sets himself and out of play. Anderson trying to swoop on it, and it'll be a throw in about 15 metres around from the point post. Crows deep in attack, haven't got a goal in this term. Want the next one, so do the Tigers. Smart works to the front. Bond went to ground. Brown's come on the ground, as Roscoe mentioned earlier. And again, a bounce down. Just no real flow from the Crows. So often we're seeing them here with 1, 2, 3 handballs and then go to attack. That not happening. Richmond being able to stall them, so to speak. Now Bond gave it to Knights. Little one to Maxfield. They're playing the percentages, the Tigers. They're doing it all right. Maxfield hugging the boundary line. Bounce back for Wren. Wren back to Deere. Deere sweeps it to Gale. Has to sit and wait, but here's a chance. Gale looking for someone inside. Oh, what's he done? He's disorientated completely, you would think. Maynard. Gale. Pittman. Maxfield. Ball running towards the boundary. Help me out, Roscoe. What happened there?
Well, why a player of his size would take the punt and try and bounce the ball when he's got a fellow like Maynard confronting him?
It's amazing, Ross. I saw Alex Sishenko yesterday for North Melbourne doing exactly the same thing instead of getting it and kicking it.
Kick the footy.
Free kick out of that going to the Crows to Wren.
In fact, it wasn't Maynard, it was Benny Hart, which made it even worse.
So Chris McDermott, here's Jamie Tape again. Oh, he's playing a great game. Tough as nails he is, brings it wide. And he has found Stuart Maxfield. He's good on Football Park, Maxfield, because he's got that run in his legs. He brings it to centre wing. This is a good game, and look at Wren. Sean Wren is a great player. He's the most promising ruckman we've seen in years. He brings it to Anderson. Danger for Richmond here because Anderson's a long kick. The lead is on. Rashudo and Hall. Tony Hall, sticky hands, a very good mark.
I think the kick was actually intended, Peter. She called it for Rashudo on the lead, but it was off the side of his boot to the left, and fortunately Hall played in front, which he normally does. Fair player to have there to take that contested mark.
So a great career, Tony Hall with the Hawthorn club. That's Wren's terrific mark. Great mark by Wren. Now Hall, well, he's missed a couple. This one's directly in front from 48 metres. Let's see what he does with this one. That looks pretty good. It's a goal. So Tony Hall kicks his first and very handy one. And they now lead by 10 points.
There's some tough about Sean Wren. You held up play on that half-forward line as Tony Hall actually comes off, replaced by Matthew Kluzek for his run in AFL, first run. And that change was obviously going to be made before Hall took that mark. But well done to Sean Wren. Held up play and the goal results.
6-7-5-3. Matthew Kluzek on from the Eagles here in South Australia. He's come on for his first game. Hall going off just a bit proppy after he took that mark and kicked that terrific goal.
Yeah, Kluzak initially was drafted by Melbourne, Bruce, and then decided to stay, and now he's playing with the Crows.
It's a bad luck for Hall, who's suffered with the hand injuries, had a lot of knee problems over the years. Took a good mark in the front, kicked an excellent long goal, but had to jog off straight away. Couple of tackles there, and again there's going to be a bounce down. Getting late into this second quarter, Tigers have done pretty well. They've hurled Adelaide, they've restricted them. 6-7-5-3. Pretty important period in the match just before half-time now, as Kellaway gets a wobbly one away. Bad bounce for Anderson, well played Rogers, did it very well. The racehorse can go away now, Maxfield. 3 bounces, should straighten his body up now, he does, goes long to fall forward. Richardson Gale gets back on, terrific punch away by Jamison by the look of it. No Smart back there from the side, punching it to the boundary line and out.
Well, that's his right position in my opinion. I think he's one of the best backmen in the competition, Nigel Smart. They've tried to make him a centre-half forward, and he is a good player there, but I think he's certainly a better centre-half back. There's Pittman. Will make their defence look good now with Smart back there.
Yes, with Mottram coming to centre-half forward, Pete, they've moved Smart back.
And it's a big rap for Kellaway, the fact that they gave him the job on Smart today. He's had all the good players this year, Kellaway, to pick up. There's Gale diving on top of it, and so did at Adelaide Crow. Let's see who it is. It's Chris McDermott at the base of the pack, and it's 50 metres, is it? I think it is. And McDermott always with that wide grin on the face. Tony Free having plenty to say to Rowan Saws.
In fact, Nigel Smart, but he's coming back to the half-forward area.
It's a pretty hard.
Oh, that's a hard call for 50, isn't it?
That's why that penalty's so hard.
That is not a 50-metre penalty.
And originally, too, McDermott diving on the footy,
exactly.
And Gale committed.
Well, there's McDermott to the half-forward line. Oh, strong mark. Good mark, Jamie Tape. Beautiful play. On to Broderick. Oh, dangerous kick. Oh, that was not a good kick. It should have been brought out wide where the leads were on. And the Crows come in and lock it up. Almost on centre, in the centre of the ground. 4.5 minutes to go. A vital 4.5 minutes in the context of this game.
With the Crows leading by 10 points. Deer and Wren. Free kick to Deer.
Holding on, Bruce.
He's battled away, Deer. He's been an important player at Richmond this year. Was in those great Hawthorn teams. Gets in close again. That was a sound effect from Peter McKenna.
He does it all the time.
Ben Hart gets it from Jamison. Runs away, Hart. Stretches it out wide. Bickley and Broderick. Left-footed Broderick. Turns the other way. Oh, have a look at that. Cheeky. That's a cheeky bit of footy.
It's a great bit of play because it was Bickley who stopped the mark in this midfield area, which looked like a certainty of the Richmond player, and he's chasing resistance. But a lot of players will be able to break away from a tackle like that, but...
Gee, I'm glad he remembered his jocks, Roscoe.
Well, so am I.
I bet you Sandy Roberts will be watching this. He'll grab that for Players of the Month. An absolute certainty.
You could write it now, couldn't you, Mac?
Yep.
Get the time.
I could nearly write the script for him, I think.
Someone must. He's not that clever. 6-7-5-3.
Well, here's Wren and Deer. This is a fascinating duel between these two good ruckmen. Deer doing all right too, but so is Wren. Here's Knights. He's the one they want to see fire. Here's Bauer. So Nathan Bauer to the half-forward line. They want a goal, Richmond. Still at half-forward for the Tigers. The quick kick comes down towards Richardson. Oh, he's out positioned by Wellman. Good play by Wellman. Now a chance for Rogers. Maxfield caught, can't get away with it. Umpire sensibly calling play on. Liptak loses it. Knights dragged off the ball. Oh, lucky free kick, Matthew Knights. I thought he's got the kick. I thought it was a little bit lucky. I thought he took a dive.
Well, Pete, when you look at some of the other free kicks they've missed, it was a very lucky one. The free kick's there, but they missed so many others that why they pick certain ones like this, I don't know.
Well, let's have a look. I thought he just went and took a dive. He's grabbed by the jumper. That's no free kick. Anyway, he's got it directly in front. Matthew Knights directly in front. And listen to the hoots. As they need this, the Tigers badly. This will be a very handy one. Oh, look at that. The directly in front of a ball kick.
Demoralising too, Pete, when it's perhaps your most skillful player kicks like that.
Red gets it. Lights have been turned on at footy park. Ben Hart comes away. Runs his full distance. Rebound excellent. Wiedemann and Tate. Body to body. Tate's had the best of that duel. Good tackle by Kellaway on Smart. Modra. Handball good. Brown back to the weed. Free kick play on call. Rashudo attacks it. Still play on. Handball a beauty to Maynard. Left foot for goal. Wobbles it through. Rashudo.
Yes, and again the borders coming to the half-back line. There's a fellow on screen to kick the goal, but Benny Hart did very well. The umpire called play on here, and Rashudo, as Bruce said, just attacked the footy. Great handball. Could easily have sat up in the air and gave the Richmond defenders a chance to come and intercept, but it had enough punch on it to get and find its target. Good goal.
Crows by 16 points. Knights missed one at one end, and the Crows got one at the other. There's Broderick getting it to Bond. Up towards half-forward, Nash smothered it well with his chest. Rogers to Knights. All Knights having an ordinary game, Matthew Knights. McDermott to the half-forward line. Jamie Tate. Oh, it's a mark to Wiedemann. He plays on. The short one comes in towards full forward. It's a free kick. And it's a free kick to Michael Gale. Gale wide. He's looking for Jamie Tate. Tate marks at half back. Centre wing. The Tigers could really do with one. We're under a minute. Oh, the big fist away was by Pittman. Here's Broderick. Goes inside to Wayne Campbell. They're all handballing a bit here. Tony Free to the half-forward line. A chance here. Liptak used his body well. Some holding going on. Liptak again receives and is hit very hard. Onto Anderson. Onto Pittman. Here come the Crows. They've got half a minute in which to score a goal. The lead is to the youngster, Matthew Kluzek. Roars of the crowd. McDermott receives. Goes long for goal and just misses. So the Tigers let off the hook a little bit there.
7-8-5-3. I'm going to say something ridiculous here. They're better when the lights are turned on, the Crows, aren't they? They play better at night. Suddenly they've found some rhythm in the last 5 minutes. I know it makes no sense. Don't even think about it. Turner's kick. Free with one hand. Tigers don't want the Crows to get one late. They shouldn't now. Free tries to break the tackle. Play on call. Bauer out to Tate. Time running out for the Tigers. Gale tried to tap it down to Maxfield. Is this the last foray? I think the clock's going to beat him. Runs to the boundary line. Gets a kick away. Siren sounds. And the Crows did pretty well in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They snuck a bit of a break. And at half-time it's 17 points. They've had 15 shots to 8. It's the Crows 7-8 to the Tigers 5-3.
That's what I like about the thing about football.
Oh, I'm a scoliosis, have I? Oh, that's why I was slouching. Presentation's 9/10 of it. Don, did you know that? Yeah. Or is it all of it?
It's everything.
Oh, it's everything, sorry.
There you go, Kerry. Run it through, boys. I think I win now, don't you? They'll open up now.
Yeah, well, you'd think so.
This is a test. We'll see how well they're travelling. Is that Terry?
Bruce.
Where are you at the SCG, mate?
Yes, mate, here on my Pat Malone.
Ah, yeah, poor devil.
Oh, no, Don's here. Oh, there's a couple in the back, yeah.
Now, who's your best? Who's the interview with, Terry?
Tony Francis.
He had a good one, did he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, coming right back. It's good.
Now, Terry, Shawnee wants to say hello, by the way.
All right, mate.
He's over here.
Shawnee.
Come over here, Shawnee, and yell down the microphone to Mr. Wheeler. Come on. Over you come.
Hi, Tez.
Hey, Shawnee, how are you, mate?
Terry, I'll give quarter by quarters here, quarter by quarters Sydney.
Yep.
Go to you. You bit of the, you know, if you, I can work in and out with you,
Can
whatever
you?
you want to do.
No.
Will you? Now, do you want me to? Will you throw to your votes
What
or
I've
me?
got-
What do you want to? You do it.
If you like, after the
No,
game.
well, actually, Don said you would.
Okay,
There's
who
only
were
a
they,
couple of
mate?
the opening goals, which you'll
They
probably have
were
anyway.
Tony Francis
It
3.
was the first two goals,
Shane
and then
Watson
we had
2.
there's not much in
and
that
Darren
second bit
Creswell
other than that very
1.
last goal.
Well-
Matthew Knights had a shot for goal out of bounds.
Sorry, I missed that one. Francis 3.
Okay. Well, Bruce, I'll do them.
You happy to do it?
Yeah, I've got to do it sooner or later,
Okay,
don't
exactly. So
I don't
do
even- I
do
don't
the
even remember.
have a chat.
Yeah,
Give
have a
it-
chat and then
over
I'll
the
go.
highlights, and straight off the highlights, say here are my 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
Francis, Watson,
It's a number
Creswell.
on it,
Don't take long over them.
No. So,
And then I'll say thanks, Terry. Here's Neil Cordy with Tony Francis.
Beautiful.
And then I'll thank you at the end.
beautiful.
What was it? Just the 1 quarter one from, didn't it?
6 minutes.
6 minutes. They kicked a few goals.
Kicked 5 goals in 6 minutes to start the third quarter.
5 goals in 6 minutes at the start of the third quarter. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the difference, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Thanks,
We
Don.
had a situation here where the Crows are about 10 points in front. Knights has a shot from 30 metres.
I
Kicks
saw
it
it.
out on
I've
the
been
foot.
watching it here.
Kicks, yeah, well, a big
Terrible.
turnaround.
Terrible.
Sorry, mate?
Where's Terry?
He's in Sydney, Shawnee, at the SCG for your edification.
Let's start low on them.
You can't say hello on the...
I can hear him.
Terry can hear you. Go on.
Hi, Terry.
Oh, yeah, Shawnee.
Hey, Will, it's Ross here, mate. He's missing you dearly.
Who's Shawnee? Hey, you there, Ross? Roscoe. Roscoe.
How are you, mate?
Yeah, Roscoe. What's the Gary Cowton blind turns?
Haven't you seen those, mate?
Yeah, I have. It's put memories back to me. Very good call.
Eve used to do them at training, and there was no one there.
It was funny, wasn't it?
Our old second term as we look at the Qantas scoreboard at half-time at Footy Park. Adelaide 7-8, Richmond 5-3, a 17-point margin. Earlier today at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the Maggies did all the damage in the first 6 minutes of the third term. In the end, they won 13-15, 93 to Sydney 10-13, 73. They jumped up a couple of spots on the ladder. Terry Wheeler's still at the Sydney Cricket Ground waiting patiently. And Terry, from where I was, there wasn't much in it. For about 3 3/4 quarters, it was just that little burst by the Maggies at the start of the second half.
Yeah, that's about right, Bruce. But Collingwood always looked in control, basically. They kicked the first 2 goals through Tranquilli and Buckley. And Sydney lost young Peter Philandia prior to the game, which really took away from the conditions. As you can see, were very, very heavy in the midfield. But they were able to get the start very well, at what they wanted to. But this man in screen here, Simon Minton-Connell, was very good for them today, Bruce. He gave them the focal point which they needed, and he was the main player that had them only a point down at half-time. But as you called, after the half-time break, they came out, Collingwood, and really took hold of the game. Players like Gavin Brown gave ascendancy to the game. Nathan Buckley continued on, and young Mark Fraser was also a very, very good runner for them off around the ground. Their midfield was the key to it. I think Sydney struggled along very much. Paul Kelly returned to the side and gave them something. But at the end of the day, it was a Collingwood forward line, and they only had Tranquilli and Rocker, who kicked 3 goals each, that made the difference, because Sydney really lacked forwards who could assist Simon Minton-Connell. The way Collingwood here moved the ball in, and Gavin Brown kicks that goal, which was one of those in the burst in the third quarter, really put Sydney back on the back foot, and they never had the opportunity to make a chance. This young player, Jamie Lawson, was the only real hope that they had. They needed someone who could break up the midfield and get the ball to Minton-Connell, and he did on a number of occasions and kicked a good goal there, but unfortunately let himself down at times with some untimely and poor disposal. But big Severio Rocker here, he stood tall at the end of the game. As the conditions started to take hold of the Sydney Smalls, Rocker was the bigger one, and he was a good player for them there. So they had, most of the midfield was Collingwood's play. Young Darren Creswell was a good player for the Sydney side. He worked extremely hard throughout the game. He got 1 vote. Shane Watson at half-back, Bruce, a very good running game, marked the ball well, had controlled across there. But Tony Francis has returned to a very, very good form. he's the player now who is really instigating a revival for Collingwood, and it's important now that he keeps that going. A very good game from Tony Francis.
Yes, the ex-Copeland winner, if they can get him back into top form, they're in with a chance in anything. Neil Cordy caught up with Tony Francis after the match.
Now, Tony, you seem to like the wet conditions today.
Yeah, it's terrific. I enjoy playing in the wet, so it was good to get out there and try and get the ball.
Yeah. I noticed you're in under a lot of packs, and certainly judging by the mud you've got over you, you certainly got down there.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, like I said, I like playing in the wet. You know, I'm not a marking sort of player, so it's good when the ball's on the ground all the time.
Now, how do you compare the Sydney mud to the Merri Creek mud?
It's not too bad. It's a little bit smelly at the bottom of the pack, but it's not too bad. I'm looking forward to have a shower though.
Yeah, I bet you are. Now, the preceding games, you had win-loss, and coming off a loss last week, today is a pretty important game for you.
It is. Our form's been up and down in the past, but hopefully we can carry on from today. We've got Fitzroy next week, so hopefully we can play well against Fitzroy, and then we've got Carlton, so I mean we've got some tough games coming up. Hopefully we can perform well against them.
Yeah, with the Roys, they're not travelling too well, but they all seem to bother you blokes a bit.
Yeah, we always have a good game against Fitzroy, so hopefully we can play well next week and get on top of them.
Yeah, today's game, it was fairly tight early. The scores were, I think it was 1 point difference at half time. Second half, where did you think you start to take over?
Obviously we needed to win today. We had a conscious effort to go out there and win. Just our attack on the footy, our ferocity at the ball, I think was good in the second half, a little bit better than the first half, so in the end we come through with it.
Yeah, and Gavin Brown as well, he seemed to really give the guys a lift when you needed it in that third quarter.
Yeah, Brownie's a terrific player. I mean, whenever Lee asks him to play, he puts 100% effort in, and we can count him to do the job.
Tony, well played today. Thanks very much.
Gee, Terry, I hope he has a shower before he hops on that plane. He looked like he'd done a bit of work, didn't he? Terry Wheeler at the Sydney Cricket Ground, and that interview by Neil Cordy. We'll take a break. Roscoe Glendinning back after this.
That's what I like about the thing about football.
Public transport, don't forget, of course, Australia's express bus services are still proving to be very popular with footy fans. And there's some very important news for all people who use any form of public transport in Adelaide. As of tomorrow, Monday the 4th of July, the STA changes its name to Trans Adelaide. So when you catch a bus, train or tram from tomorrow, you should be able to spot the new Trans Adelaide name with its distinctive blue and orange logo. This is the first step in providing a more efficient transport organisation in Adelaide. However, it is important to note that at this stage, services will not change and that your bus, train or tram will still turn up at the same stop at the same time as usual. That's of course great news for footy fans who have been using the Australian Express services. So remember, next time the trains play at home, you'll be able to catch a Trans Adelaide Trains Express to Footy Park.
Half-time, Qantas scoreboard, 7-8 to 5-3, 50 to 33. It's just one of those dangerous little breaks, isn't it, Ross? Not a match-winning break by any stretch, but a danger break from Richmond's point of view.
Yes, the way the goals have come today, Bruce, they haven't been easy other than the first couple by the Crows. And Richmond did very well in the second quarter, the first 20 minutes of that quarter, to bottle things up and just restrict the run of the Crows. But here, that goal by Liptak, a beautiful Rovers goal. Howard did the right thing to attack the footy, but unfortunately just spilt free. And Liptak, who's now playing on half-back on Nash to quieten him with Scotty Lee going off the ground, that did very well there. Anderson's been steady across half-back, but Bickley I've been impressed with, as I normally have. But to come back after a couple of months off, it's just been outstanding. And some of his run to chase, create, to contest has just been terrific. And Rashudo, Bruce, didn't he start off with
he's been good,
a bit
hasn't he?
between his teeth? He was fired up, this lad, and playing across half forward. He gave them an option up there, with Smart being quelled by Kellaway. They had another avenue to attack, and that's where the Crows have got on top. The fact they've had more options up forward, they've had 7 goal kickers to 3, and they just had the players presenting themselves more often than what the Tigers have. Good mark here. He's a good player, Rogers, and he's been perhaps one of their focal points, and his teammate from South Australia, Tape at the other end, he's been outstanding too. Richardson has been able to get into the game. Neither has Benny Gale. Been well held by Pittman, and Jamison's been very good across half forward. And the attack by Crows when they go forward is direct.
Knights and Broderick both struggling, aren't they, in midfield?
Yes, well, Broderick's now got Bickley on him. Knights has been very quietened by Bickley early. Benny Hart's now picking up Knights. He copped a bit of a whack early, Knights. I wonder if that's just waylaid him a little, but he had a shot for goal, which towards the end of the last part of this second quarter, which should have been a goal. Out of bounds on the full. The ball comes down the other end in this passage of play. Attacked again by Rashudo. Great handball to Maynard. Goal results, and the difference now 17 points.
When you look at Rashudo, hit Modra on the chest early, Modra
Yes.
goals, kicks a long one himself, and then hits Maynard with that.
Well, if you work so hard to get the footy, you've got to use it properly and get value from it. And statistically, the Crows just a bit more of the footy, as they normally do against most sides. And the free kicks, there's been plenty of them. They're favouring the Crows because they're in front. Rowan Sawyer's not concerned about paying free kicks in front. Centre breaks even. But the ruck duel between Deer and Wren been very, very good.
So not much in this at half-time. It's 7-8 to 5-3. Back with the second half after this.
That's what I like about the thing about football.
Ladies and gentlemen, that completes the Little League demonstration. As the players make their way off the ground, would you please show your appreciation to the young boys and give them a round of applause for a job well done. time again, please welcome back the Adelaide Cameron Crows.
Great time of night here at Football Park on a pretty balmy night for this time of the year. Crows about to come back onto the field. Still waiting for Richmond. It's 7-8 to 5-3. Packed house, 47,000 people, and a nil Curly. Tony Hall, let's start with him. Why did he come off? Was he injured?
Well, no, he's not injured, Bruce. I just thought that was a strange move. He kicked the goal and was taken from the ground. A couple of moves the Crows have made that have mystified me a little bit. Liptak going into the back pocket on Naish is one where Naish, as we all know, is very strong overhead for a little man, and put a rover on that type of player is a bit of a risk. Rashudo going to the full forward area. Okay, they got a goal out of it, but I couldn't quite work that one out because he was playing very well on the half forward flank line.
Did you expect the Crows to open up in that second quarter and get a bigger break by half time?
I expected the Crows to go ahead that quarter, I really did, but full marks to Richmond. They knuckled down and put a lot of pressure on them, and particularly Turner at full back. I thought he was very strong in that quarter, broke away, like controlled Modra and broke away with the ball and created a lot of drive out of that area.
They are struggling to kick goals, though, Neil. They've only got 5, and Richardson a couple early, but he looks as if he's battling, and you doubt whether you're going to get a big score from him tonight.
Look, I do think it's with this type of breeze over here, Bruce. It is a bit of a problem for visiting teams that haven't had a lot of say practice on this ground with this type of wind. It does swirl the ball around a lot, and it is difficult to kick goals, particularly going up to the northern end, which is left of screen, where the wind does carry the ball late, and particularly when you're trying to guide it down to the players. Foot like Knights is normally a very reliable kick for goal. Last week he kicked a couple of beauties where that effort there was just terrible.
It was insipid, wasn't it? What about Bond running with McGuinness? How have you seen that?
I think Bond has done a very good job. He's very quick. McGuinness has looked like he at stages was threatening to break clear, but Bond just got a hand on him, and I think he's doing a very good job in that area.
What about Deer and Wren? You mentioned them at quarter time.
I'm surprised Deer is not free kick more often in the centre, because he does cross the line well before he goes for the ruck contest. If you watch him, he comes across the line and then virtually comes in on the same way as the opposing ruckman. I thought the rule was there that you had to come across the line when you're actually contesting for the knock. But it's a very, very enthralling duel. But Wren, of course, has a little bit too much class for Deer. Deer's a workhorse. His strength is using his body and getting his big long left arm into the ruck contest.
And finally, because it looks like Smart's going back to the forward line for the Crows. Where would you play him?
Well, he's a proven back line player. Like he's played some tremendous football back there, but with the lineup such as the Crows at this stage, not having a centre half forward of note, they're trying to make Nigel into one there. And at this stage, he's threatened to take a few marks, but he hasn't quite held the ball. But Smart's one of these players that can just burst into the scene very quickly.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay, Bruce.
Still no Tony Hall. Bluzak still out there. Start of the second half, 7-8 to 5-3. 52-33. Crows going to the left. Wren, Deer, Tony free. First kick out of it. Gets well inside 50. Naish, Liptak running with him. Pittman, well done by the big fella. Just toe poked it, picked it up, gave it to Jamison, to Hart. Hart, kick out wide to Bickley. Bickley will probably go back to Hart. No, played it well, went back into Jamison. Well set up by the Crows. Now Hart loose. Neat, well, I was going to say neat looking kicker was. Didn't get as far as Wiedemann though. Free bangs it back, and Naish takes it on his chest. Well within kicking distance. And Peter McKenna's already put up the 2 fingers for a major.
Well, he's a pretty good kick for goal.
Well, if you go back towards the centre from that half-back area, the kick has to be spot on. You do it when you get more towards centre-half forward, but once the ball goes to the opposition it has there, you get a shot at goal.
Tony free with a couple of early kicks in this second half. Big kick here for Krishnesh. From 45 metres out. Good looking kick, he's got it. 2 goals to Naish. He got the goal from the goal square in the second quarter for the Tigers, and it's 6-3 to 7-8, only 11 points of difference.
Well, the critical kick there also is against Benny Hart, who should have found Bickley on the full to allow him to take a mark and either come back and take the kick, but he had to take the ball off the ground and then go back toward goal and then reset up play, and in the end the kick toward the centre looking for Wiedemann not good enough.
Well, I'm just watching what Neil Curley said with Greg Deere here. Now look at him, right alongside the line, then comes across the same side and lopes across in front. And,
But once the ball's been bounced, Pete, you're allowed to cross the line.
Yes, I know, and that was right, but I couldn't see the free kick to Wren. Anyway, he's got it, centre of the ground. So all I thought Deere did was go a bit early. But Wren to the half-forward line. The pack develops, up they go. Howard couldn't mark Callaway, a hand pass, and a thump further afield. Tregenza went without it. Bauer to the half-forward line. Richardson smothered that very well for a big man. Good play by young Matthew Richardson. Gets it to Broderick. Broderick the step pass. Tunnel balling it with Gale. Maynard and Rogers. Maynard lying over it, then hooks it out to Anderson, who's caught. Here's Maxfield onto the left foot, hooking it back in front of goal, and there he is again, little Chris Naish. He's a good little forward pocket rover.
Well, it was a clever kick because he didn't belt it high and long towards the square. He just propped it up in front of the goals there, and Naish was running back, but had the good sense to turn and look for the flight of the footy.
Well, this is a big start to Richmond if he kicks this to start the third term. This will be his third. He's directly in front. Chris Naish, and he's put it through. So the Tigers, to start the third term, have hit back hard. They're 5 points. 5 points down, Richmond.
Yes, and Scotty Lee's preparing to come on again. He's been replaced. He will replace Liptak, who's had trouble with Naish this opening couple of minutes. Also watching Greg Deere there while Naish was having his shot at goal, just talking to Rowan Sawyers, just asking what were those free kicks for. It's a good kick by Maxfield.
Five points the difference at Footy Park. 7-8, 7-3. Liptak off the ground. Lee back on. Neil mentioned he thought it was a strange move with Liptak on. Broderick's quick kick marked by Hart. The Tigers have made a splendid start to the second half. Day turning into night now. The light's taking its full effect. In for a terrific second half. Broderick, who was quite early, a couple of quick touches. Gale to Bond, who's done a wonderful job on McGuinness. Kicked to half forward. Good mark by Richardson. It's starting to happen now for Richmond.
Well, they've got some forward power, haven't they? Some high marking strength.
Richardson outside 50. Goes short. Good kick. And Broderick in the hole. Takes the mark. Couple of Adelaide players trying to run across in front. It had to be spot on, and it was.
Yes, well, Mark Bickley is behind play. That's his man, but he's puffing a fair bit. He had a couple of great efforts earlier on to try and prevent play. Wren couldn't get his hand to it.
Well, he's a quality player, Broderick. You'd expect him to goal. He's going to kick from about 35 metres out. He's on the best side for a left footer.
And to put them in front, Bruce.
For the first time in the match. It's a good kick. He's got it. Tigers in front. What a turnaround. 3 goals in 5 minutes.
Yes, and well played. Richmond fully deserved this lead because they've prepared themselves at half-time, obviously, to come out and attack the footy, not to play defensively. And their preparedness to run and create and give opportunities is working well for them. Again, the ball out of the centre, and they're handling the ball more cleanly.
Well, this Richmond side is a different combination from the last couple of years. Deere again in front. Wren wins it, but look at Tony Free trying to crash his way through. Wren went without it. There's Maxfield with a quick kick down towards the half-forward line. Hart's got a lot of pace. Matthew Knight's after him, harassing him. Good play, Matthew Knight. Did he grab him? Up by a set, play on. Bauer after it. He goes to ground. In the back to Bauer. Oh, there's Doug Vickers looking on. One of the recruiting men. Been head of recruiting, he and Brian Waldron for a couple of years. Nathan Bauer up towards Richardson, a fly, he couldn't take it. Here's Wellman. Tregenza, all under pressure. Richmond have really lifted here. Matthew Knights can get onto this one. He grabs it onto the left boot. Kicks it to the centre of the ground because he saw Campbell, Wayne Campbell. He should bring it in long. He does. He's looking for Richardson, will fly at the back. Oh, hits the deck. Well played by Wellman. Sean Wellman brings it to centre wing.
Brown the target. Stayed in the air a long time. Brown's little give to Anderson. Pays his way through the centre. Goes to centre half forward. Smart! A beauty!
isn't it?
And that could be 50 metres.
That will nip. Mark of the year.
He had to take it because if he'd missed it, came to ground, the Richmond players are off.
Can he go back and bang the goal like James Cook did at the MCG last week?
He's gone back just as far as Cook does.
He's good overhead, isn't he? Big leap.
Crows trail by a point at Footy Park. This will bring the house down if he goes. Low, long, not going to get there. Wren was pushed out of it, and it's out of play. So the Tigers are still in front here, 8-3 to 7-8.
Well, the crowd's still making plenty of noise, even though they've been a little bit shell-shocked. Look at this again.
Great lead, athleticism, and held it all the way down.
Well, it's up the Crows into the ground. There's Rashudo getting it. The Wiedemann on his left boot. Wayne Wiedemann has missed, I think. Yes, the boy from Fish Creek. So look at this. Scores tied. 7-9 to 8-3. A ferocious looking Wiedemann. Scott Turner has done fairly well, as Neil Curley said. Modra having a pretty quiet game. Modra's only kicked one. There's a long kick. Wren in front. Knocked the ground. Bickley around the corner to the half-forward line. Courage shown by John Howard, and then he was grabbed. Broderick. Back it comes. Callaway. Oh, they went without it. Bond. Rashudo. Smart. The chip pass. Wiedemann marks. Oh, bad skill error by Richmond has caused this. So mark the Wiedemann 35 metres out from goal.
That's all it needs, Pete, isn't it? Just a little bit of a fumble under that pressure situation.
So Wayne Wiedemann, usually a thumping kick, will certainly make the distance. Let's see about the accuracy. It's not a bad looking kick. It's a goal. And the Crows regain the lead.
And that sort of stability to be able to take the game back once the opposition has kicked a couple of goals and got to run on. You've got to pick up your man. There's that fumble there. Bond, the player who just didn't grab the footy with enough strength there to take it away. And the goal results.
Crows by a goal, 8-9, 8-3. Bickley through the centre. Free's been terrific in the centre square in the early part of this term. Rogers, well played, got it forward. Bond off the ground. He'll be keen to make amends. Daffy, Knights held on to, play on. Still with Knights, left-hand handball. Dropped by Daffy, handball by Broderick. Free to go for goal. From 40 metres out, great kick, it's a goal! Scores a level again. Gee, hasn't the game accelerated suddenly? Pedestrian in the second quarter. We're rolling along now at 9-3 to 8-9.
Yeah, we said at half-time, Bruce, it had gone flat, mainly because Richmond prepared to bottle it up and go a bit defensive. Here, the effort by Broderick was the player that punched that ball out, and free from a standing shot. Great goal. Good captain's goal.
A fascinating game this. And this ruck contest is fascinating too. Let's see. Oh, the favours Deer. Look at Tony Freeze caught holding the ball. Yes. He couldn't break the tackle. McDermott. Bickley. And this will be a Richmond mark to Michael Gale. A Richmond side of a couple of years ago would have been trounced in this game. They are a much different side. Smart, can't mark. Gets in a hand pass. Chris McDermott to the half-forward line. John Howard can't mark. Play on calls the umpire. Ooh, a bit lucky, a bit high maybe. Michael Gale. Back he comes, not sure what to do with it. Gives it off to Howard. That Richmond defence have really improved. To the half-forward line, half-back line, I should say. Brendan Gale couldn't take it. Here's Broderick, a very good handball exponent. He gets it up to Bond. Bond heads for the safety of the boundary line, and a free kick on centre wing has been found for a holding decision on Chris Bond. Greatly improved player, has had a fine season, Bond. To the half-forward line, they fly. They get in each other's way. Bauer caught, loses the ball in the tackle. Good umpiring to call play on, and now they come in and bounce it at half-forward. Richmond scoring in.
Coach Sauce prints the umpires. Andrew Rowan and Mark tonight. 8-9, 9-3. Gale and Richardson have spoiled each other a couple of times in the last 3 minutes, flying together for the Tigers. And it's going to be a bounce down again. Tremendous performance by Richmond to kick 4 quick goals since half-time to Adelaide 1-1. And this game which was
free kick
in slow motion in the first half, has suddenly really come alive. Wren's free kick.
It's bad play by Greg Deere to give it away like that.
When you're inside 50, courage by Rogers. Running back, could feel them coming, stretched up his arms and took a beauty. Rogers from the centre wing goes in high. Naish, well, I think the target was probably Richardson, and he conceded, and Jamison takes it. Strange old handball in a way. Pittman was able to get away with it. Wiedemann uses his body, unable to take the mark. Free, went to ground. Little paddle out towards Bond, went to ground. Free kick, McGuinness over the shoulder. And Bond, despite that mistake...
I think it's Free's kick.
Is it going back there, is it? To Tony Free.
I think it's against Wiedemann.
Free from centre wing. To centre half forward. Gale sets himself. Pittman, big fly early. Goes to ground. Bauer gets good distance. Richardson and Wellman set themselves. Richmond took the grab. Richardson off the ground. Wobbling, and the Tigers are in front by a point. It's 9-4 to 8-9. So much at stake in this game tonight. We said it was a mini final for both teams, one of those mid-season matches that mean so much. Wellman to bring it back in.
Well, Wellman going short. Can be dangerous. Oh, yes. Good chance here for Naish. Gives it to Free. Free around the corner. In front of goal, and a safe mark taken down there by Scotty Lee. Oh, gee, that was a dangerous kick in. Now he's got to come back and kick over the mark, but the crowd hate that, don't they, Ross?
I mean, it's there, but it's technical.
Very technical.
Problem is the umpires, if they don't do that, they get pulled up.
Scott Lee brings it to the half-back line. Greg Deere lopes at the back. Maynard is there. It's fisted to ground. Tapped on by Tregenza. Then by Wren. Broderick, a poor hand pass. Tregenza receives from Chris McDermott. Tregenza goes inside to Maynard. Maynard, a dangerous hand pass, a bad hand pass. Campbell, he went without it. Howard crushes his way through the back. Oh, this is a good game of football now. Here's Tregenza. Oh, look at that by Michael Gale. On the Bond, who's been a great player, doing well. Bond to half forward. Richardson. Oh, the good mark, a very, very good mark taken by Wellman.
Goes wide, gets Anderson. Stretches him out. Anderson's got a lot of time to do something constructive. Richmond did that well, held him up. Anderson goes long, Hart. Good mark. Too easy in the end because Maxfield caught underneath it. Well played, Hart. Goes to Maynard. Maynard to Rashudo. Excellent kick. Modra should take off. Rashudo will give him a chance. Goes to Modra now. Modra one out. Free kick against Turner. This will test Modra. He hasn't been kicking all that well. And you would doubt whether he'd goal from here. It's about, it's going to kick from just inside 50. Mark and free kick. There goes Modra. Well, he's proved me wrong. Magnificent kick.
You should set the ball up for Bruce. The distance, the angle, but the timing in this game. They needed that. They'd worked so very hard, the Crows, to get that ball forward. And through the sheer run, they've changed direction of play to the other side of the ground. And in doing so, handle the ball cleanly, and the goal results.
By 5 points as Modra kicked a beautiful goal from out in that half-forward line. Here's McGuinness. He's been hotly pressed all night and he loses it to Bauer. Bauer with pace. He really is a quick player. Nathan Bauer to the half-forward line. Jamison with courage. Flying over the back was Gale. There was no mark. It's hooked up in the air. And the pressure really on now. Scott Lee heads towards the line and eventually puts it over as Gale comes in late.
Jump to be made by Richmond too. Mark Neal to come on the ground and Daffy the play to go off.
Oh, Neal will give them a bit more scoring power up there, up forward. Here's Wren and Pittman. Pittman gets it to McDermott. McDermott shuffles it back. He gets it to Scott Lee. Lee to centre wing. Players pushing and shoving. It comes over the back to Greg Deere. Hand pass was looking for Campbell. Eventually it's forced to the line right on centre wing with the Adelaide Crows leading by 5 points.
Almost night time here in Adelaide. It's about 5:30 Central Time. High kick away by Bauer. Just outside 50. Off hands. Chance for Lee. Under pressure, high tackle, free kick. Just an awkward tackle by Neil. One arm on the back and one over the shoulder. Goes short to Brown. Not gaining a lot. Crows just 5 points in front. Modra's outstanding goal a moment ago, recapturing the lead. Tap forward by Smart. No free kick for Maynard. Rogers doesn't go very far. Kellaway, well played. Good grab by Deere. Gets a bit of distance, wobbles it to half forward. Bounce important. Neal attacks it strongly. Deep in the pocket, out of play. About 30 metres away from the point post. Neal to kick 4 goals against Collingwood. Ex-Geelong. Deere getting his wrist strapped up. Ren over the top, takes it out of the air to Hart. McDermott, free kick, no, not paid. Looked as if he was hung on to. Knights goes to ground. Ball still to be won. Brown wins it, gets a little kick away. Well played by Tregenza, used his body cleverly. Bond went in hard, he's been terrific tonight. Can't quite get the kick away. Brown over the top of it with Bauer.
You reckon he's been terrific? I'll say he has. Chris Bond, what a great game.
Well, McGuinness's stats are 5 and 4. This is for a bloke that normally gets around 30 to 35. He's had 5 kicks and 4 handballs, and Bond has had 8 and 7.
And he's done a lot of the bullocking, a lot of the hard work. Here's Brown to centre wing off the side of the boot, and there was a kick to touch. It just bounced before the line, again on true centre wing position. A very good game of football, a real contest between 2 pretty evenly matched sides. We wouldn't have said that in past years. Richmond have really improved. Here's the kick from Tony McGuinness. Michael Gale should go to the line here. That's good play. And a little bit stiff not to get a kick in the finish there. It was good play though, good defensive effort there, not to come back into the back towards the centre. Half forward, Smart taps it with the left hand. Here's Tony Free, a real little gutsy goer. The captain to half forward, Neal, couldn't mark. Knights, been fairly quiet. A big lift from him, it certainly helped. Bauer shoved out of it, and the umpire said the push was in the back. So Nathan Bauer, centre wing. A nice looking kick. He's looking for Richardson. Oh, that is a good mark. I thought he was out of position then, but up went the long arms. He's moving it quickly because Gale's here. Brendan Gale and Pittman. Here it is. Gale at the back, can't mark, and it comes off hands and through from behind.
Pittman's done a pretty good job on Gale. He's a difficult customer to account for, the big fellow in Gale. So Pittman, his mobility's been pretty good tonight. He's stuck to his task.
Lee to bring it back in. Crows 4 points in front. Goes short. Bickley. Wellman on the 50. Gains another 10. Goes to centre wing. Wiedemann the target. Good effort by the Weed. Legged surely. Free kick to Broderick. It'll come back there. He's certainly lifted since half time. Centre. Knights. No real danger in that. Knights always in the box seat. Campbell. Richmond mounting an attack. Campbell's kicked to half forward. Free the target. Good effort by McDermott. Play on call. Free goes back. Howard about 60 metres away. Bombs it in long. Gale sets himself. Well done again by Pittman. Who's roving? Maxwell on the left foot. Maxwell goes for goal and might have kicked it. He has got it. The Tigers are back in front. 10-5 to 9-9. Maxwell gets his first.
That was a great roving goal too, because he could sense that Pittman was going to have to spoil from behind Ben Gale. The kick from Hout was good, it was high, looking for the big fellow. In front, there goes the punch. Maxfield in front of Anderson, who was never going to catch him, but it had to be a great kick. Oh. Opportunist goal.
The Tigers by 2 points after a brilliant goal to Maxfield. Here's David Brown trying to crush his way. Here's Maxfield. I said he likes the wide open spaces because he is quick. Michael Gale trying to get it to Callaway, should say. Umpire calling the advantage. Here comes Maxfield with his booming long left foot kick. Richardson, a brilliant mark, the youngster. He's coming back in the form, and that's good play to get on with it and kick it in long in towards the square. Murphy back with the final, is it a goal? A booming kick
cause a reshuffle too, because Johnny Northey's taken Greg Deere on. He's got Ben Garland to the right, and he's brought on Murphy, who's been picked up by Pittman. A mismatch there. A shuffle's going to happen. It has happened. Jamison's now got Murphy. Pittman to pick up Neal at centre half forward. Well played, Richardson. Great goal. There he's on screen.
He's been good too in this turn, Richardson. Gale goes hard at Wren. Anderson. Maxfield's been on top in this quarter. Now Wren to half forward. Modra can't quite get that far. Kluzek in the front spot. Takes it away from Gale. Richmond hold it up. Kellaway, McGuinness and Kluzek put the tackle on. And it'll be a bounce down 40 metres from the Crows' goal. There's Deere. They're working on him.
Is that forearm, Bruce?
Yeah. Let's hope he's okay. 150th. His brother played his 100th yesterday. Paul Deere. What a coincidence. Tapes kick. Well done, Maxfield. It was going to be a hard ball to take. He knocked it over the head and pushed it about 20 or 30 metres forward. And the little things that Richmond are doing are adding up to something a bit special at the moment.
Well, they call those the 1%ers.
11.599. Again, Deere being worked on. He'd be itching to get back out there. Campbell to Bond. Good handball to Maxfield. Tigers are on top. Maxfield runs along the boundary line. Goes with a centering kick to centre half forward. Richardson, well done, Wellman. Who's roving? It bad bounce for Rogers, but he's got Maynard. Jamison. Crows rattled just for a moment. Oh, hard gone. No holding the footy. Richmond can't believe it.
Maynard was lucky too to be not penalised. He hung on for a while. Tried to break the tackle.
The umpires threw away the whistle then.
Here he goes. He tried to break it. That's holding the cherry.
That should have been holding the ball. I'm with you.
And then Jamison froze up a bit, and then Hart broke a tackle and caught. Tigers a bit stiff, 60 metres away. Gale to Broderick. Good handball. Campbell to fall forward. Richardson gets back. Well done that time by Wellman. And it'll be a throw in the pocket. Neil Curley, what have you got to report about?
Yes, there's a bit of a cut through in the arm area, and been stitched up and now wrapped, and he should be okay.
Now, Curls, are you sure Tony Hall's not injured?
No, yeah, Tony Hall has got a quad muscle, a quad thigh injury.
Thank you for that. Here's Pittman.
Well, he's getting it back to Brown. The Crows under pressure down there. Oh, lip tack. Not Tregenza, I should say. As the kick comes towards the half-back line. Players pouncing on top of it. McGuinness hasn't been able to break the shackles, and he gets a free kick. That was holding the man. 2.5 minutes of play in this third term. Johnny Howard on the mark. Tony McGuinness, a high floating drop punt up towards half forward. Oh, good mark, Michael Gale. That back line with Gale and Tape. Gee, they're good. Callaway, he's tough. Howard and Turner have improved. Matthew Knight marks, centre of the ground. He should be bombing along because they've got high markers down there. Matthew Knight swings onto his left, runs around the man. That's good play. Now he's going to belt it long to the pocket. Here's Richardson going to fly, and the youngster is marked again. Oh, if he kicks this, the Crows are in strife.
Geez, good play by Knights, wasn't it? Oh, fantastic kick.
That's the sort of quality they've been looking from him.
Well, he's kicked 3, Ross. The beauty of Richardson, he's 6'4", and he's just so quick.
Yes.
He's had a big quarter, hasn't he?
Well,
he has his teammates.
He has to kick this 52 metres, and won't be an easy kick. It's a long, long way to kick a drop punt. There it is. Will it clear the pack? It's close. Oh, it was touched right on the line by Pittman.
Well, just as well he flew because no one else was going to.
Oh, gee, it nearly cleared the pack. 63 plays 72, a 9-point margin as the kick comes way out there to Wellman at half-back.
From Lee. Crows besieged at the moment, under great pressure. Hart gets it from his lookalike. He goes to centre wing, hugging the boundary. Wren the target, Gale. Maynard still underneath him. Benny Gale there. Michael Gale. Maynard. Campbell. Hurled up. Bounce. Inside the last minute. Graham Corn's about to come down. Unhappy. Couldn't be pleased with what's happened in this third quarter. What a turnaround. 17-point lead. At half-time, the Crows currently trailing by 9. Anderson under pressure. Only as far as Rashudo holding the footy. Crows won't like that.
Gee, if they get another one, it'd be handy, wouldn't it?
Campbell from centre wing. So an important mark one way or the other. Jamison. Richardson. No free kick to Jamison, is it?
Over the shoulder, Bruce.
Well, Richardson marked it too, you know.
Oh, second grab. He didn't have first hands on it, Pete, I don't think.
Don't you think?
No, I think Jamison had first grab at it. Jamison, there he goes. First touch.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're right, actually. He's on the chest.
But it was a free kick in the meantime.
Oh, that was lucky.
Danger here. Jamison coming wide, looking for Whirlman. In the dying seconds of the third quarter, Whirlman goes to centre wing. Siren sounds. And what a turn for the Tigers. They kick 6-3 to 2-1. And Richmond are in the box seat. 11-6 to 9-9. Chalmers being pointed at by Corns. Graham Corns obviously saying to Chalmers, you're on, get ready. And we'll be back for the final term after this.
That's what I like about the thing about football.
League changed hands 5 times in that term. Scores were level twice. At three-quarter time, Richmond 11-6 to the Crows 9-9.
This match is part of the Foster's 1994 AFL Premiership season.
Graham Corns, 30 minutes of football, the most important 30 minutes of the year. And for John Northey, Richmond looking at 4 wins in a row. Neil Curley, it's like they're both standing on the edge of the cliff, isn't it, these two clubs? There's so much at stake now.
I think you're right there, Bruce. It's very interesting to hear the two different styles from the coaches. John Northey is just more or less concentrating on team effort, maximum commitment, dedication at the ball, all the hard, gutsy stuff. Whereas on the other hand, Graham Corns is really concentrating on positional play and forward pattern of movement. So it'll be interesting to see which one's got it right.
Well, you weren't surprised that Liptak went off early.
No, I couldn't. I didn't like that move. I just couldn't quite see why you'd ask a forward pocket rover to go back and mine a very dangerous forward player.
What's your gut feeling from here, Neil?
My gut feeling is the Crows will win the footy match. They're definitely coming home with the advantage of the breeze. There's no question of that. They're a very fit side. They have proved they can come back in, from a tough, say, three-quarter situation and win a match.
Do you agree if they lose tonight, they cannot make the final 8?
I've said that all along. I think if the Crows don't win this football match, not only are they out of the 8, but they won't get back into the 8.
Thanks for that, Neil. Neil Curley on the boundary line. The Crows are trailing 11-6 to 9-9.
The Crows got a few players too, Bruce, who are in the game early, the likes of, say, Rashudo and Bickley, which is a tough call on him, but they just haven't been able to get the foot in that third quarter as we look at those particular quarter stats there. And Richmond, it's pretty even in terms of stats, but the quality of the Richmond Aussies was much better. They were more direct, and they had 3 goal scorers at half-time. They're now up to 6, so their options up forward have been better. Gale in the ruck is staying there. Deere is off the ground with a bit of a crook forearm, so the move of Gale into the ruck has got Neil at centre-half forward, and it's just given them some options. And Richardson stood up at full forward and gave them some goal-shooting ability and kicked a couple of beauties.
Smart's gone to the defence. Red starting in the ruck. Chalmers at centre-half forward. Isn't this a magnificent sight? Packed house, crowd roaring. Cool but not too cold a night. Perfect conditions for footy. The stage is set. It should be one of the best last quarters of the year. 11-6 to 9-9. Ren to go. Gale runs straight at him. Broderick missed it. There was a hand on him. Bickley gets his 9th kick for the match. Straight up in the air. Free. A terrific mark. Rather tape, I should say. Goes out to Gale. Gale goes to half forward. Naish, well played by Lee. Bouncing ball. McGuinness sits and waits. Bond high tackle. Played it brilliantly, Bond.
What about the way he tapped it to himself, Ross?
Yeah.
That was great play.
Oh, he's a clever player.
43,052, the official crowd. Bond to Gale. Outside 50. Tigers are leading. High ball to full forward. Chalmers sets himself back by Neil in the front spot. The ball hung in the air, didn't it? It stayed up there and Neil was able to take a courageous mark.
Yes, well, Chalmers, Bruce, who hasn't been on the ground until this first couple of minutes, wouldn't have realised that ball was going to drop. And in the end, he realised he couldn't mark, and it wasn't a very good attempt to spoil.
It's a pretty good kick, Neil. But I said Mondra wouldn't kick one before. I better be careful here. Neil to kick it from 25 metres out. It's a good kick. Missed when Richardson was sailing at home for a goal.
I think he was trying to con the ball up Matthew Richardson.
What a roar. 11-7 to 9-9.
What a let-off.
What a vital kick. Gee, that would have made it difficult for Adelaide, but he missed it. Mark Neil. Now here's Wellman. That's a good play to go straight down the centre. Broderick was at the back, was fisted away by Neil. Chalmers, it's held to him. Umpire calls play on, and now he'll come in and bounce.
Ren's gone to centre-half forward.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Chalmers to stand up and be counted here.
Well,
Pressure situation, fresh legs.
Well, there he is to do the ruck work in his uncontested, cock the clip around the ear, loses the ball in the tackle. Hart runs into a brick wall. Chalmers to McDermott. On to Smart. I like him better in defence. On to Jamison. Centre wing, the race is on for the ball. Campbell gets there first. He's a highly skilled player, Wayne Campbell. To the half-forward line and uncontested to Jamison, and John Northey won't like that. Jamison, a booming kick to centre wing. Oh, good mark, Duncan Callaway.
It's one of those quiet achievers. Mature as a footballer at 21 years of age. Rogers in the front. Maynard tapped it away. Hart got it away from Knights. Bond Tamble was good to Campbell. Campbell to Neil. Neil to Richardson. Good grab. He's a thumping kick.
Sorry, Bruce, if he had to turn around more quickly, Murphy had run to the square on his own. Players must turn around. Doesn't matter where you are, when you take the ball in that 50-metre arc, you've got to turn around quickly and face goal. Look at those opportunities in front of you.
Slightly more difficult than the goal Mondra kicked. It would take a magnificent kick from the pocket here. Richardson goes for it. Gee, good attempt. It is a behind over the line. Neil done happy, saying that he'd taken the mark inside. So Richardson goes to 3 goals 3, and the Tigers 11-8 to 9-9. They need a goal. They've had the ball in their forward line for the first 3 minutes of the final term.
Rodney Jamieson, 11 points the margin. The Tigers lead. Punched away by Wiedemann. It's to the advantage of Richmond. Naish. It went past Maxfield. Here's Anderson to the half-forward line. Wren now playing at half-forward, traps it, gets it back to Rashudo. Rashudo had a great first term. Handball straight to Gale. The Tigers are committed as Gale goes forward to the half-forward line. A pack of players fly. It hits the deck. Naish. What was it, Bob? It was Bob. Gets it to Maxfield. Up in front of goal, the youngster, Murphy. Oh, boy. He's marked 40 metres from goal, 45-degree angle. What an important kick, Ross.
Tough. It'll be his first. Spent most of the time on the bench, Pete. Jamieson a bit too far behind, and Jamison's had a pretty good game.
Justin Murphy, a product of the strong under-18 competition in Melbourne. A very talented young player and a young kid. A pressure kick for goal. He'll have to kick to the left goal post and swing it in. And what a vital kicker to put them 3 goals in front or a point under. There's the kick. It's too far to the right. It won't quite make the distance. The ball's still in play. Here's Chalmers, Brett Chalmers. Oh, he's kicked it straight back to Neil. Or was it Bauer? Up to it was Bauer, in fact. And hit the post. So it's 12 points the margin now.
Kicked 3 points in this turn, the Tigers. Newell missing the easy one. Richardson and Bauer banging them back in. 11-9 to 9-9. There's Wren. It's come up the ground. Long ball out wide. Lee and Naish are there. And out of play. Well, the Crows desperate to break it up now to get some rhythm, some handball, some run going. 2 goals behind. They're led by 17 points at half-time. Broderick went over the top. Kellaway. Richmond getting so much of the football in the first part of this final term. Bond got it to Bauer. Free. Centering kick. Richardson outnumbered. Goes to ground. Chance for Rogers. Taken away from him. Anderson got it. Good tackle on him. Lee has to keep a cool head. Squeezes it out wide. Maynard and Murphy. Maynard fell over. Murphy still there. Maynard traps it in. Tackled by, well played by Rogers. Back turn brilliantly. Left foot to the front of the goal square. Important ball. Big fly coming from Chalmers. Play on call.
No, it's made the mark, Bruce.
Giving him the mark.
I thought it was a mark.
Yeah, he had a fair bit of a gee. What an important ball at the front of the square.
Yep. He's able to go back there as a spare man because Wren's picked up Benny Gale to do the ruck work.
Goes short, gets to Jamieson. Jamieson goes with a long one to centre wing.
Over the back was Duncan Kellaway. Gee, is he an improved player? He is a tough little nut across that back line. He doesn't. There he is. He's been given all the big jobs all year, and he's done it particularly well. Really good, solid defender. There's Gale. Gets it to Kellaway. Inside the Broderick. Here's Bauer. Caught. Gets in a hand pass. Here's Murphy around the corner. They need a mark. The Tigers punched away. Good play, Maynard, but it looked a certain mark. Great play by Rodney Maynard to punch it away from Rogers.
Well, it's the moment for desperate things now.
Well, they've got all the play, Richmond. It hardly been down. It hasn't been down the Crows' end.
You really think that the Crows could not concede the next goal. They're trailing by 2, but since half-time they've only managed 2 goals in about 40 minutes of football.
Yeah, 26-point turnaround that third quarter.
Wren goes with Gale. Quick kick away by Lee. Campbell, Brown, Tate, Wiedemann. Tate on top of Wiedemann all night. Punches it out of play at centre wing. The danger for Richmond is that if the Crows can get into attack and kick a quick one, because Richmond have had the ball in their forward line for the first 7.5 minutes of this final term.
Well, it's on centre wing. Wren versus Gale. Umpire called play on as he hooks it over the back. Here's the dangerous Broderick. Broderick couldn't pick it up. It's a loose ball. Chalmers can go to Tregenza. Tregenza's got it. A handball looking for Rashudo. Good use of the body by Gale. But Rashudo's got it. He sprints clear. It's up in front of the Crows' goal. Mogra can't mark. He's got it. Keeps it in play. Good play. It's shuffled back for Adelaide by Kluzak. And the umpire said it was over the line, so they'll throw in deep in that forward pocket.
Gee, Simon Tregen's got to learn to handball left hand. He just never ever tries. Puts himself under pressure and his teammates.
Chalmers in the front. Brown hooks the left foot back towards the 20-metre line. Standing his ground, Bauer. Wiedemann running in hard. Bickley's there, can't break through. Handball by Broderick, chance for Modra. Went to ground, gets it to Tregenza. Tregenza straight up in the air. In fact, goes away from the goal, if anything. Red, play on, caught, handball. Bickley goes to ground. Tigers everywhere. Brown with a little kick. Broderick's handball good. Gale comes away. Vacant space. Bouncing ball. Going to the boundary line. After Lee. Inside, good kick McDermott.
He's got players short.
Prosciutto's the target. At the back, Gale did a wonderful job to hold his ground. Turner back turns brilliantly. Spins away. Tigers are going well. Campbell to centre wing. Maynard again, good footy. Bouncing ball. Hart just paddles it forward. Rogers onto it. Gets a little kick away. This is inside 50. Smart's out after it. You can feel the pulse rising here. Smart goes out wide.
I think he went for the line then, too, Nigel Smart.
Yeah, good shepherd too by Ben Hart. I thought Chris McDermott could have gone short to Brown. It was a long kick to try and throw under a shooter. Had to be spot on.
Well, 2 goals the difference. It's a loose ball again. Knights and McDermott. Free kick to McDermott. Too high. An indiscriminate tackle that by Matthew Knights. He didn't have to do that. As Chris McDermott, the evergreen, holds his head on to Ben Hart. The next goal vitally important. Michael Gale at the back went for the fist. Bond has been outstanding. Callaway. Bond again. Oh, great play by Chris Bond. Look at that. He kicks it wide. That was desperation by Bond. Here's Jamison running away from Murphy. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson swings onto the left boot. Looking for Modra. Good play by Turner. Tuck back. Good desperate play, Howard. He should head for the line, and he does. Although Richmond defence has improved 100% in the last 12 months.
Look at the tension all around this ground. 43,000 people here. 11 minutes to go. Richmond are 2 goals in front. Chalmers won the tap. McGuinness was at the back. Free kick to Bond. Advantage given. Campbell runs away. A second bounce. Then goes short to centre wing looking for Brendan Gale. Free kick, no. Smart was over the top. Newell's there with Wren. Wren did pretty well, but back to Campbell. Handball on the up. Away goes free. A second bounce. Goes to fall forward. Getting back is Lee. Bouncing ball. Lee turns out of trouble. Quick kick away. Chance for Jamison. Safe hands under pressure. Takes the mark. Goes short to Brown. They've got to move at the close. Brown goes short. Oh, danger! Oh, well played by Hart. Brilliant skills. The handball over the top's a beauty. To McDermott. Modra leads now. McDermott goes to him. Cutting it off was Tate. Tate, well played.
Oh, what a player.
Little kick to Broderick. And the Tigers are going like winners. I know there's a long way to go and I shouldn't say that. But gee, they're playing well.
Duncan Callaway, the long booming kick to the half-forward line. Punched away by Maynard. Here's his partner down there in Scott Lee. They do it time and time again. Ben Hart breaks the talus. Walks beautifully. Brings it to centre wing. McDermott to Brown, who's on his left foot. David Brown brings it to half-forward. And the mark has been taken by the new player. Kluzak. Matthew Kluzak. Way out at half-forward. A vital passage of play coming up. Up towards Modra. Modra at the back. Here's a goal coming up to Prosciutto. 6 points the difference. 2 goals to Mark Prosciutto. And have a look at this. What strike kick in it.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? I mean, the players that have gone forward have been inept. Worse than not in the first half. And here everyone was waiting for a free kick. Standing still with Prosciutto. How timely. Here was the player that kicked the goal last week. In the right spot. Plenty of time for the pros if they want to get up. And that's the critical thing if they want to.
Listen to that roar here at Footy Park. 10-9 to 11-9. Prosciutto with 2 goals. The Crows get a goal against the trend in this final term. Wren. Lip tap. Maxfield. Richmond has played with spirit all year. Richardson. Onto it, Wren. Breaks a tackle, caught. Murphy. Hart paddles it forward. Anderson after it. Hip and shoulders coming in. Anderson still there. Held up. Ball up. 9 minutes remaining. A goal the difference. Richmond with so much of the footy in the final term without a goal to show for it. Maxfield runs onto it. High ball. Richardson should mark it. He's got it. I'm saying this is a pretty big kick, Roscoe.
My word.
He's kicked 3 goals, 3.
I'm sure he'll feel the pressure here too. That high ball gave himself a chance because he was in front.
Well, look how far back he's gone.
Well, that great Richmond champion Michael Roach has been working hard with Matthew Richardson in kicking.
He's gone back 35 metres on the mark. The player on the mark's about 35 metres from goal. Richardson gets up to 50 now. Takes his time. Drop punt. Good looking kick. He's got it. 4 goals to Richardson. It's a 2-goal game again.
And a good sign of maturity there for the Richmond players, not getting rattled by that goal from Rashudo and drop their heads. They have the lead. They're the ones that are attacking. Maxfield on his wrong foot, the right. Just gets it up high enough and it carried far enough for Richardson to run onto it.
And the secret to getting that, break the ball quickly, Ross.
Don't muck around with handball, Pete. Pressure situations, kick it forward as far as you can.
The Tigers by 2 goals. Red, look at he swapped by 3 Richmond players. Here's Brown, a quick kick to the half-forward line. They fly. It's no mark. Here's Bauer. A hand pass the Tigers again. Well played, Gale. Loses the ball in the tackle. Is it holding the ball? No. And the umpire's going to come in and bounce at the Adelaide. Crows fans and players do not like it. Almost in the centre of the ground. Richmond by 12 points in a magnificent performance. They've come to Football Park committed. Neil Curley mentioned that before the game he could see they were a committed side, and there's the knock-on. Anderson, a sweeping hand pass. Brown runs onto it. He knocks it on. Oh, desperation by the Tigers. Here's Tregenza. Now Chris McDermott. 40 metres. Oh, McDermott's drifted it to the right. And the Richmond supporters at home in Melbourne would be breathing a sigh of relief.
Well, he's been pretty accurate all year, McDermott. He's kicked 5 straight coming to this game, and today he's kicked 2 points.
10-10, 12-9. Imagine those Richmond supporters in Melbourne would be on the edge of their chairs. Hope their telly doesn't break down in the next 7 minutes. Turn along. It's the only way to go now. Gale got a good grip of it. Wren goes back. Brown with a long ball. Lip takes underneath it. Take it away from him. No mark paid. Turner. Gale. Michael Gale spins out of trouble. Handball was excellent. Got to Bauer. Bauer outside 50 now. Handball over the top to Kellaway. Kellaway, little handball over the top to Gale. Back to Kellaway. Did he run out of play? No, he didn't. Kellaway gets it up to half forward. Rogers in the front spot. At the back, Maynard. Push forward the footy for the Tigers. Over the top of it was Lee. Brown squeezes it around his body. Centre wing, Tregenza rides the tackle. Caught the second time. Ball up. Matthew Knight says it was holding it.
You don't get rewarded for a strong tackle, do you? Look at this.
He tries to break the tackle. It comes up high.
Caught.
Down you go.
Well, I don't know. Centre wing. Wren was shuffled out of it by Matthew Knights. That could be a mark to Broderick. Yes, it just travelled the required distance, I think. The Adelaide crowd don't think so. Paul Broderick. The Tigers hanging on tenaciously. Here's Maynard. That's a good mark by Rodney Maynard. Can the Crows get up? Just under the 6 minutes now. They have to kick 2 goals. The half forward, Packer players fly. Here's Brendan Gales doing a fine job in this last term. Danger though. David Brown to lip tack. The lead is on. Michael, no! He drops it. Oh boy. He's got it though. Michael sprints clear. Kicks a goal. Oh, another miss to the Adelaide Crows. I don't think it's their night.
2-3 to Modric.
Oh, he would have snaffled that one last year, wouldn't he, that mark?
10-11, 12-9.
That's the fine line, isn't it, with confidence and 4.
5.5 minutes remaining. Can Richmond win 4 in a row? Turner, long. Gale sets himself with Wren. Chalmers at the back. Now he can thump the ball into the goal square.
He's got two out here wide.
He's going to go wide now. Clues out. He waited too long. Richmond got back. Bauer. Broderick. Terrific second half. Kellaway. Quick kick away under pressure. Richmond must fancy their chances here. Neal. Besieged. Handball straight to Brown. Rather Anderson. Caught by Knights. Put it down on the the ground. Now Brown, and they swamp him. Neal and also Rogers.
Huge.
Bounce down.
Vital seconds ticking away there, Bruce.
Still 4 3/4 minutes remaining. Richmond are 2 straight kicks in front.
Well, the Crows have to score 2 goals, and that's a handy little buffer as we see Anderson around the corner of the half-forward line. Tape versus Liptak. Liptak gets there first, but Tape lays the tackle at Kellaway. Good play to knock it back to the line. They're real old-fashioned tough defenders, these Richmond players.
Well, you got Francis Burke involved there in your match committee. That's how they would shape.
Well, Francis Burke would be one of the best tacklers I have ever seen in VFL or AFL. So they got the right man teaching them. And that was good play by Gale to go back to the line again, wasting valuable seconds. Wren and Gale. Wren at the back tried to grab it out of the ruck. He's very mobile. Gets it to McGuinness, who's been well held. Liptak doesn't hold it long enough. Hand pass comes out to Free. Free to the half-forward line. The race is on the bounce. Oh, look at Murphy. Great play, Murphy. Hooks it back. Wellman. Oh, Richardson. Richardson again. Was he grabbed? Wellman. Lee. Smart. Loses it. Richardson. Could be the sealer. No. Up in the air. In front of the Richmond goal. Oh, it's a mark. It's a mark to deal. This could be the sealer. Neal would kick from 10 metres. Oh, boy. They really deserve to win at Richmond, Ross.
Well, they've had most of the play, Pete, in this, and they've looked the better side. They've really bottled up the Crows. And see here, great attack there. Oh, Rogers again. Pressure fight forwards like that is what you need. Mind you, the handball gave him a chance.
Well, a chance to make it 3 straight kicks they'll have to get from directly in front. Mark Neal's put it through for a goal. Tigers by 17 points.
13-9 to 10-11.
Yes, and Neal's had very little time on the ground tonight, but just making sure he was the one that went for the footy here. This handball from Lee, he had no option really. Perhaps he could have gone towards the boundary line, but he saw Smart was free, but it was just a floater. And here Neal was the only one who really had any idea where the ball was.
Three goals in 3.5 minutes. You would think it's an impossibility. Seeing the Crows have only kicked 3 goals in the last half. Broderick, Gale, goes long. Richardson the target. Well done that time by Wellman. The Adelaide defence is under great pressure. Rogers, left foot. It's a behind. 13-10 to 10-11. 2 goals, 1 to Rogers. Tiger fans, and there are a few of them here, they're screaming. Lee straight down the centre. They need a big mark for Wren. Over the back, Tregenza should give it to Smart. Smart back to Tregenza. McDermott. McDermott a high ball. Mondra's going to leave it. Clues out of the back. Surely a goal. Liptak. The Crows have still got a chance. Liptak with a late goal. There's still time. 11-11 to 13-10.
Well, it'll be a bit of a front Bruce they got up. I mean, I don't know if persist, but Richmond has certainly played the better footy. I mean, as you said, the Crows have struggled for goals after half-time.
But it was the one thing that could keep them alive, a goal very quickly. And it just gives them some hope, doesn't it?
No question, yep.
The game's alive.
They don't go forward out of this centre break.
11 points, 2 goals the Crows have to score. Gee, Richmond have had nearly all the play in this term. Gale's been terrific in the ruck in this term. Let's see who gets it out of the centre. Brendan Gale, good play by the big fella. That is desperation stakes. Down towards Smart. He's young. Oh, Murphy, a free kick. Yes. He was definitely grabbed up the ball. He's got the free at half forward. Oh, what a vital passage of play coming up. This is good play by the youngster. A cool head, wastes time, and he gives a little chip pass across to Michael Gale.
Yes, who did the right thing too, Pete, by running hard to get there.
And back it comes to Bond, who's been outstanding. What a fine job on Tony McGuinness.
Pretty close to votes there, Bond.
Well, McGuinness has had 8 and 4. Well, I've never seen McGuinness have stats like that in a match. And Bond has been outstanding player. He's had 10 and 11. So not only has he run with him, oh look, they're just wasting time here across the Knights as the time clock ticks down. Well, I wouldn't go another one with you, Ross. I'd be bombing it in long to that square.
Try and get a score from this.
He'll get warmed here. That's silly play. It can be reversed. So Matthew Knight's now going to bomb it in long. Let's see if someone can take a mark for the Tigers. Richardson, oh cool, nearly got a free kick. It's a loose ball with Murphy. Oh, he picks it up brilliantly. Shuffles it back into play. The Crows a chance. Oh, good play. Matthew Rogers is here. Good player. Desperation by these young Tigers.
And it's been that youthful exuberance too, Pete, that's kept them up there. Their preparedness to run and not give up has been terrific.
Wren and Gale go together. McDermott at the back. Crows need a quick breakaway. McDermott caught. Wren, Jamison, long left footer. Tape sets himself and takes a beauty. And wide. They've got the numbers, Richmond. Tony free. Didn't take the mark. Still with numbers. A handball, not good. A turnover. McDermott. Tregenza. Brown. A second bounce. He's at 55 metres. Goes for goal. Modra off balance. Sets himself at the back. Goes to ground. Blues at left foot. Goal! What a goal! 12-11 to 13-10. There's still enough time. And young Kluzek, the handball to Liptak, a goal, and then that one, but Tony free down
Just
the
that
other end.
fumble, that's all you need though, Bruce. It's all it is in these situations, and the luck goes against you. There are Adelaide players around him and they made full advantage, or took full advantage of that. Right on Kluzek, and not an easy kick. Well done.
5 points the margin. Tigers lead. Who's going to get it out of the centre? That is the big question. Gale run it. Hand pass comes over to the Mutsfield. He should run with it. He's very quick. He'll kick it long. Oh, good kick too. Up to Richardson. Richardson at the... Oh, they didn't contest. Knights. Oh, Matthew Knights around the corner on the left foot. Oh, a point's handy. 6 points the margin with 40 seconds of play.
The Crows had a draw last week.
Oof.
They need a goal for a draw here. Wellman straight down the centre. Neil's in the box seat. Thumps it to Murphy. Any score will do. Long one. Point will be enough. Surely that's the ball game. It's got to be enough. 13-12 to 12-11. Wellman will have to wait. Straight down again. Wren has to mark it, goes to ground, punch forward, handball over to Wren, back to Smart, Smart caught up, Bond again, they're home the Tigers, Bauer with a little one, the Tigers are going to win their 4th game in a row, for the first time since 1985, it's 9 long years, and the Tigers have done a remarkable job here. The siren's about to go. They've won it. They're celebrating on the boundary line. Rogers to make it sting a little bit more. 7 points in front. It matters not that it drifts away and hits the post. Who cares if you're a Tiger? Well, they've had some great wins in the last 3 weeks. Collingwood, North and the D's, but this is the daddy. This is the best one. No question about that. And for the 3rd time this year, Adelaide has beaten at home.
Yes, and they've never beaten. What a great time to do it. John Northey said you couldn't have come to Adelaide more prepared. He said that before the game. Whilst you can say that, you've still got to have the players perform that task on the field. They've done it enormously well. Full congratulations to them. A great effort, Bruce. It really was.
To think it's the first time they've ever beaten Adelaide. Tony McGuinness, well, the disappointment on his face says it all for the Crows. And the Richmond team. Well, how dare anybody suggest that John Northey shouldn't keep his job after all of this in the last month?
And good to see. Looks as if he might have Tony free too down there with curls, Bruce. I think it was good of him to come across.
Good on you, Curls. Go ahead with the captain of the Tigers.
Yes, well, we have the captain of the Richmond Football Club, Tony Free, with us. Tony, the build-up for this game, I was down the roofs before the game. It was very intense, and I think John had you in a tremendous frame of mind.
Yeah, you did have us in a great frame of mind. I think the boys are, very determined and very committed bunch at the moment, and they're just doing everything they can to win games, and I think that's important.
There's a quarter time when the Crows led into the breeze, which was there. You boys showed, I thought, then tremendous courage and commitment in those final. You won the hard ball on the ground, and you fought hard and you tackled very well.
Yeah, the last 2 or 3 games we've come from behind, and after that first quarter, although I was a little bit worried, I knew the boys were going to fight it out, and we knew the Crows generally have a bit of a poor third quarter, the statistics show. So, at half-time we were just really committed at the ball, and to the boys' credit, they played very well.
So you must have done your homework well if you knew the Crows had that poor third quarter.
Yeah, we've got Kevin Morris down there, and he just about knows everything. I think he's bases a lot of his tactics on the statistics, and it showed that in the third quarter that the Crows were sort of generally down, I think.
Great turnaround for the club, who 5 weeks ago you looked down and out, but you've turned it around with some tremendous commitment by all the players.
Yeah, I think so, and that's all the players it is too. It's a very team-orientated side and a very even side, I think. There's not too many champions out there, but everyone puts in and does a good job.
Well, Tony, well done, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Neil.
All the best.
Tony Free, what a great leader he is, with Neil Curley. And Richmond fans are celebrating. They've made the long trek to Football Park, and they've come home a winner. The Tigers winning their 4th consecutive match. Neil Curley on the boundary line again. And go ahead, Curls.
Thank you, Bruce. We have a player who, Jamie, who played in the grand final here last year and come back in a tremendous side to win another game.
Yeah, it's pretty good luck here on Footy Park. Grand final last year and a win against the Crows. It's good.
And of course you're against your old teammate last year early and in the Weed.
Yeah, the old Weed. He's a hard character to play.
And how are you finding the transformation, say, from SANFL to the AFL?
Yeah, it's a lot quicker. You don't get as much time to do anything. You just sort of slam it onto the boot. Pace is real quick.
Well, congratulations on your personal game tonight. You're going to have a lot of fun in that change room. Good luck.
No, thanks.
Back to you, Bruce.
Yes, young Jamie Tate with Neil Curley. As the Richmond fans continue to celebrate, well, I hope not, because that's not the best place to go when you get beaten, that's for sure. We'll take a break from Footy Park. 43,000 have watched it at the ground. Hundreds of thousands around Australia. The final scores here, 13-12 to 12-11.
That's what I like about it. Think about football.
Desperate last quarter. Richmond kicked 2-6, the Crows 3-2, but after half-time, that was the big story. The Tigers 8-9 to 5-3, so they did turn it around. A thriller, 13-12 to 12-11. Great match, wasn't it?
Well, we said at half-time, Bruce, that Richmond's 20 minutes in the second quarter really bottled the Crows up, and the Crows found it very hard to break free and be creative, which is where they are most effective and dangerous. And then I thought just that last 3 or 4 minutes of that second quarter, the Crows bit back and just showed what sort of a team they can be. But then the third quarter, that vital third quarter, Richmond were just terrific. I mean, not only did they bottle the Crows up, but they became more effective with their possessions. And they had players all around the ground lift. Broderick in the middle was very good, just got more effective possessions. And the back line of the Crows was under pressure the whole time. They were prepared to run and create, but there were a few mistakes up forward. And as soon as the ball rebounded, they were caught out of position.
They came out cold after half-time, the Crows, whereas Richmond came out red hot, didn't they?
They certainly did, and their youthful exuberance and that sort of the winning edge they have at the moment, they've maintained. Sometimes with that youth, Bruce, you can lose that, and if you get a bit behind at half-time or what have you can drop away, but they've actually maintained it very well.
Great goal by Modra, but he was disappointing tonight.
Well, the opportunities weren't always there, but by the same token, I thought he got his hands to the ball or was in the contest where he normally would be the player to take a grab or get the footy, and he couldn't do it, which is quite often happened. Maxfield, his drive around midfield is very good, and he's like Anderson when he gets the ball. He goes 40 or 50 metres and direct. He gave Anderson the run around towards the end, who was tired.
This was a huge bomb, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, it was such a critical kick, and to do it at the time that he did do that was just terrific, and it would give him a great fillip going to the rest of this season.
His second half was much better than his first, even though he kicked 2 in both halves. His second half was fantastic.
Well, it was important because he had to stand up because Gale had gone into the ruck. Neil had come on to go to centre half forward. Rashid had a very quiet second half after looking like being the player to dominate early.
That's what it looked like the Crows would win. They got within a goal with that goal by Rashid, but quick reply by the Tigers.
Yes, and here we see Richardson again featuring just well out in front of Will.